Welcome to Roleplay Cafe. We're here today to play test Dark Age of Man. And Jason's going to GM me through the first ever inaugural session of this.
No, I'm going to direct him. The name of our game master in our game is Director. And he's a protagonist versus a character.
Okay. Yes, that is my bad. That's from ages. Ages.
Oh, we're going to be using a lot of terms that just come to mind, right?
Yeah.
All right. So first thing we're going to do. So this is by the way, this has been a fantastic collaboration. Having a great time working with Dell on this. This is Dell's dice system, core mechanic dice system, which is brilliant, and prestige system I'd worked on, a world I'd worked on. And we're writing this thing together. So this is our game, right? And we're going to create a character right now. Our system is point buy. You get to spend points based on the repute level you have. And we're going to start Dell today with a repute of 3, which means he gets 3 points to put in 4 attributes. And those attributes are body, mind, spirit, and what did I forget? Oh, the most important, prestige. Okay. So we'll let him make those decisions.
Okay. A 1 in prestige.
Nice. Okay.
All right. Oh, I'm going to do a 1 in mind.
Okay. So his 1 in prestige. 2. What's that? Yeah. I'm sorry.
A 2 in body.
Well, you only have 1 left. You got 1 and 1.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
got 1 left.
All right. Okay, I need to do body. It's fine.
Okay, so 0 in spirit. Okay, so body governs Dell's checks that are physical as well as combat. A mind governs his IQ, his education, his knowledge, his deciphering ability. Spirit governs his senses, his awareness, his faith, his holiness. And prestige governs his social status, his birth status. This can go up. He can actually become a noble, a king. So first we're going to take a look. Your social status at prestige 1 is professional, and you will start with 1 silver coin. Right? So that also puts your purse at 1 plus prestige. So your purse is an actual 2.
Yeah.
Your health is 5 plus body, 6. Your inventory is 4 plus body, 5. And your combat score with a poor shield, a poor sword. Or do you want a sword, mace? What do you want to carry as a melee weapon?
I'll carry a mace. That'll work.
Okay. And, of course, our equipment is based on grade, poor, good, or excellent. They all start with poor equipment, which means they're 0 rated. So his combat score will be 1 because he has a poor mace, poor shield, poor armor. Poor armor is leather, basically. The poor shield equates to a buckler, right, as far as our details. Those details can be tweaked based on your world, your campaign. In this book, it's based on the Dark Ages. We're in England, Dredgewater. This is the world that I created for my D12 game years ago. Okay. Dell, do you have a name? And you're a professional. Always frowned upon. Just a step up from a peasant back in the day, a professional. If you were a doctor or a lawyer, you were... That was. If you had to work for a living, boy, that's horrible.
All right. I like to put these little books to use, even though.
Oh, heck yeah. I love those table fables.
Yeah. All right. In this magnificent 2D die 100.
Yeah.
All right. 27. Emir. E-M-M-I-R.
Emir. Nice.
Emir.
That's cool. Emir. Okay. Yeah. Of Dredgewater. Every character in our game, you will begin your career, or at least you will be residing in the pathetic, wretched hamlet of Dredgewater. Okay. All right, so we have a mirror of Dredgewater and 1 silver piece. You have a backpack. Your backpack gives you those 5 items that are in the book. Let's see here. I don't know if you need to write them down, but let's double check. Where is our backpack?
Yeah, my printer ran out of ink trying to.
Yeah, I wouldn't print until we're completely finished. Where the hell is your gear? Starting gear. It's my own rule book, and I can't find your starting gear. Huh. Well, are you kidding me? Well, heck. Huh, I must have moved it when I was shifting around our
I got it right here.
Jiminy Christmas.
I want be a canteen.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yep. Okay. So you've got a canteen, a rope, a blanket, a tinderbox, and torches. And that's all in your backpack. So you can carry 5 things. So your mace, your shield, your armor is 3, and your backpack is 4. And then the backpack can carry those 5 things full. All right. So we just need an idea of a profession, unless you want to leave that. You don't have to be professional. But, I mean, you equate to a professional as far as status, prestige.
Yeah. Right now, it's going to be more of a mercenary.
Ooh.
Who isn't associated with anybody.
Okay.
Looking for one in between jobs.
So you're basically a sword for hire, right?
Yeah, sword sell.
Yep.
Or sell sword, rather.
Yep, sell sword, yep. Nice. That's awesome. Perfect for our world, right?
Yeah. So we got canteen, rope, tinderbox, torches, and what was the last one?
Blanket.
Blanket.
All right. Now, let's see here.
All right.
Okay. All right. So we have a mirror of Dredgewater, a cell sword, body 1, mind 1, spirit 0, prestige 1, health of 6, inventory of 5, combat rating of 1, and a purse of 2. And you also own 1 silver coin. That's about 2 years worth of income for the peasant. So that silver coin makes him fairly valuable. That's a total of 100 copper pennies if you needed to use coppers, right? Later. Okay. Break it into coppers if you have to. Okay. Let's see here. So then the only thing left to do for our little game is we use the naive narrator random seed generator style of GMing, which means we have our world, we have context, we have characters, we have NPCs, we have stuff, and then we roll randomly to see what is currently a threat in the world that we introduce as we play. So 2 dice 6, sir, to find out the first random seed.
Okay, one question first. Mm-hmm. As far as upgrading any gear initially at the start, do we do that?
We're going to do that in play. So if you want to visit the general store, fine. Washburn's General Shop, or you want to visit the smithy, then you can. But no, we're not gonna let you get off and not role playing that.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I was just. I'm totally behind that. 2 dice 6. All right, here we go. Swing. Oh, man, 11.
Oh, that's funny. That's the one I rolled. I rolled my first one to prepare. So I actually rolled 11. That's what's going to arrive in game. So roll another one because I rolled that for my first one that'll show up.
Okay, 9.
9, okay. Oh, sweet. Okay, good. Yeah, so I had already pre-rolled my first one that'll pop up at some point during play. Sweet. Okay, so 9. Number 9. All right, my friend. So I think we're about ready to get serious, actually start role-playing. Okay. It is fall. Early fall. It is cold. It is misty. It is foggy. It is miserable here in Dredgewater. Dredgewater is a tiny dump of a hamlet. It is known as Dredgewater because the river Dredge, which runs from the south to the north, is just west of Dredgewater, and Dredgewater tends to be a very high water table. There can be anywhere from it's mud and muck on a good day, but on average you might be an ankle deep in mud, muck, water, brackish, horrible water, or sometimes as high as a foot deep. Many of the buildings are set up on stilts. Certainly the Golden Leaf Inn, that butts right up to the River Dredge, is on stilts, way above the potential flood overflow. Laying about the village are planks and elevated wood planks, trying to keep out of the mud and the muck. And this is Emir's hometown. Now, I don't know, is Emir from here, or has he just decided to make this his stop along the way?
It's made his stop on the way.
You've been here how long?
I'm just arriving.
Oh, good. Okay. Oh, so you're probably not gonna feel at home here, my friend.
I know.
This is a mess. So as you arrive at Dredgewater, this is midday, by the way.
Okay.
And you are arriving from, let's say you're coming from the east, which is the major portion of the continent. And the east tends to have larger counties, larger cities, larger towns. It's more civilized to the east, although there are multiple kings, multiple barons, multiple duchies. So there is no unification of England at this stage in the Dark Ages. There are many people who call themselves king, right? And you're coming from the east. As you arrive in Dredgewater, the first thing you notice as you come into this little town is the church, a large building, and then there's a church here in the middle of the town, and you see a stockade with some miserable wretch hanging from the stockade. He is moaning. There are local children throwing mud at him, having a good time, pelting a bandit, or maybe a bandit. Obviously somebody who's hung in the stockade, being pelted with mud and rocks, and he's screaming and crying as everyone ignores this guy. You also notice a corral and the smithy. These are the three largest buildings. They're right in the hamlet center. As you cross through huts, you pass homesteads and huts on your way through until you come to Dredgewater.
Hey, boy.
Yes. He turns surprised at you with a handful of mud.
I reach in and filter out a couple of coppers. They're in around here?
He points to the building just to your right, second largest building, the Black Leaf Inn, and then he throws the mud down and he wipes it on his shirt, and he comes
back
over.
Up from him a little bit and readjust my garments as I'm almost slipping into the mud off the plank I'm standing on when I step on the drier land. Take this to them. Tell them Emir will be in shortly. Don't disappoint.
All the kids come running around. Oh, my. Do we get to keep some of this?
Back. Do as I say, and you'll get rewarded.
Yes, and they all squeal happily. Anywhere from 6 to 8 years old. There's 3 of them. They all squeal and run off. They hit the planks of the Black Leaf Inn and bust through the door. You hear a clank above the door that signals the door opens, like a tank tank. It's not a chime. It's not a beautiful chime. It's just a clank clank, like an old cowbell. And you can hear voices murmuring and squealing inside.
Okay, I turn my attention immediately over to the blacksmithy and start walking over there. Mm-hmm. I've got my shield on my back and my mace. Smithy, I say as I enter.
This is open with like a canvas curtains, and you step through this canvas curtain. You can see that it's built-in workspace with his anvil and his fire pit, etc. And he's sitting over on a stool, working on some fine detail, polishing a hilt or something. And he looks over, yeah, and he's still working.
Okay, I unsling the shield off my back and I lay it down. It's quite battered, old, somewhat ratty. It's in very poor condition. I slide it across. Is there anything you can do for me here?
He sets down what he's working on, walks over and looks, picks it up. This buckler sets it down. He says, I can do something for it, but here I have, and he pulls out basically a slightly nicer, larger kite heater shield and props it up, spins it around. It's well balanced. This is in good condition.
I don't need something so big. I need something similar, a buckler size.
He sets it down.
This was degraded.
So he pulls up another and says, well, I have this small buckler in good condition, but it would be better to take this than to pay me to work on this. This should be. I wouldn't serve dinner on this plate.
But you may piece it off or either repair it. You know you can do something with it if you're a man of any skill. Mm-hmm. How about I offer that in trade, a little coin?
Yes. So let's make a purse check versus his CV of. Sure. So he has a contest value. This particular person, his CV. Do you want me to tell you the CV?
I mean, if you want to do that for the
okay.
listener.
So his CV is 3. You have a purse of 2.
Yep.
And you have a silver coin. Now, you don't have to spend that whole silver coin. If you want to offer up 15 coppers or something, yeah. Right? Yeah. So, but it would still be a purse of 2 with some coppers, right? I don't want to give you a full bonus unless you slide his copper piece. But so you have a purse of 2.
Yeah.
And the shield. Wait, and the shield. So let's give that another. That's a full. Let's give you a full bonus one. So it's 3 versus 3, which puts you at a breakout. You're stalemate. So you just need a 1 to 10, sir, and below.
I look at it, tilt the shield. What say you? 15 coppers and this shield, the replacement.
Yeah. He might.
All right.
15. He might just do that. I don't even know if we need to roll for this.
All right, that's fine.
Right? Because you're paying him and you're giving him something he can work on. Okay. So let's not make the roll. See, it's playtest. We're deciding. We're figuring this out. Okay. Yeah, so you now have a good shield. That gives you a +1 to your combat. So your combat is now a 2, sir.
Gotcha.
Sweet. Okay. As he takes that buckler and sets it down, you will not be disappointed with that. You look to be a man of means. You carry yourself as if you maybe have seen the world. You've been around. Are you? What are you doing in Dredgewater?
No bullshit. It's just a stop through. I'm looking for work. I'm a sellsword. I'm rather amazed, and I take it off my back.
I do not need a sellsword, but I'll tell you what I do need.
What's that?
I do need someone to run to Hanso for me, Hansor, which is just west of the river, and collect some raw iron blocks for me and some nails. I cannot leave, but I need iron. It is beneath your talents, I'm sure, but
it's been a dry season, but I need to do something to occupy my time. When would you need this by? I've just sent the children over there to procure me a room for the evening.
Anytime in the next few days. I will need them for some work that is due.
How long is the travel?
Oh, it'll be 2 days walk. If you have horse, you can get there sooner, but it's 2 days on foot. Just past the Golden Leaf Inn, the ferry across the river of Dredge, and then it's another day and a half hike west on this trail here that comes right through.
Quite a trek, sir. How much are you willing to pay for this?
Well, you collect the iron and the nails. I will pay you back your 50 coppers, and maybe I can work on this buckler here for you too. Have it ready for you to go is also
to get your iron. Is it already been paid? Or do
Yes,
you want me to
it's
spend
wait.
my
It's waiting for it to be picked up.
Yeah, it'll keep me active.
Thank you.
I'll bring it back. Expect me back in a week or so.
He pulls out a leather piece of leather apron or some small patch of leather, sets it down, takes his on the anvil, takes a iron plug and hammers it once, twice. You can hear a dull because there's leather between it. It's a dull bang, bang, and then he pulls it off and picks it up and hands it to you and said, "This is my mark. Show this to the blacksmith there. He'll know you're picking it up on my behalf."
Okay. I'm going to rest for the eve.
Yes.
I'll head out in the morning and expect me back in a week or so. All right. What's your name, sir?
I am. What is our blacksmith's name? Our blacksmith is where's Smithy Dar, Dahr, Dar. And what is your name, fine sir?
Emir.
Good.
From the east.
Well, hopefully you'll find our little hamlet home-like, and you'll stay a while.
Passed through several. Can't tell one from the other.
Well,
but nevertheless, I appreciate the sentiment.
Mm-hmm.
I will return as I have to go. I expect to head westwardly from this direction. So I need to come back anyway.
Good.
I'm in no rush, and this will be a nice adventure. In the meantime, all right, and I turn around on my heel and walk back out and look for the children.
The kids are back. They're now over by the butcher who's out. The inn has another area with pigs, etc. There's a butcher there.
Yeah.
And beside that is a cart of apples, and you see the kids out, with this copper you've given them, and they're fighting over apples. And you see now standing on the outside of the inn. Again, this is up on stilts. There's a couple of local villagers standing out there looking for you. The kids came in and obviously said they hadn't seen you until you stepped out of the blacksmith shop. They now stand up with their tankards of ale and they talk to each other, whisper to each other, and drink, and kind of nod in your direction.
I walk over there, give them a little nod in return, and walk straight up onto the planking and step inside the door.
Okay.
Unless otherwise.
These guys, they look like locals. A couple of old men, old laborers, getting an ale early in the day, maybe even past their prime. And they just kind of nod at you, watch you, and sink in behind you and follow you back in. When you come in, there's not many people in here. There is a younger gentleman, probably mid-20s, in the far side of the tavern, seated. He has a wooden plate, and he has a tankard of ale, and he's shoveling, looks like some kind of cheese and bread. He might have a bite of meat. The fact that he is eating cheese, bread, meat, and ale tells you he is, again, your prestige tells you he must have some coin. He must have some value. And you see behind the bar, behind the is of course the Blackleaf Jules, and she is older. She is wears a low cut, exposing her cleavage. She is heavy set, and she goes, "Are you who those brats were screaming about?"
Yes, is this not the inn?
Yes, this is the Blackleaf Inn. Yes.
Yes, I sent him over here to give me a room. I'm assured you've organized that for me. Am I correct?
Yes. Any room upstairs, and then the gentleman sitting in the corner.
I look around and spy the empty area, except for the one man over there.
Mm-hmm. And he pipes up and says, "But not the first door on the right. That is my room." And then he goes back to eating, and he watches you the whole time, never takes his eyes off you as he takes a bite and tears off bread and chewing on
I throw some copper at her, and I turn around and look at him. What brings you here, good sir?
He Get yourself a plate. I am not going to share my story with all of Dredgewater. Come over. We can talk peacefully here at the table. And she slides the same thing basically in front of you. Bread, cheese, based on the coppers you put down. And she says, it's busy in Dredgewater. 2 strangers in one day. And she checks the copper, and then she slips it into her
Indeed, but I fear mine's only a temporary visit. I should be leaving in the morning out south. But I'll return. Anyway, I wave her on.
Okay. She goes back to whatever it is she's doing, right?
Yeah.
He as you come over with your wood plate, your tankard, he kicks the wooden chair out away from the table so you can sit.
Yeah.
Sit down.
Okay, I set the plate down and turn the chair around and sit with it backwards.
He reeks. The minute you sit down, he reeks of alcohol. This is somebody who probably spent last night, maybe even the last 2 nights, drunk. Yeah, but he's not drunk now. He's clearly sober now, but his body odor is even. So this guy's been drinking heavily at some point over the last couple of days.
No, I suspect you've been here for a while.
Dredgewater, no, I arrived this morning. I limped in here about 30 minutes ago. But I am looking.
From where? A brewery?
Well, from Fledgling Town. I am looking for good people. I may need help. Well, that was just the company of good woman that you smell upon me. And that was in Fledgling Town last night. Let me tell you. He leans in. Do you know King Braun in Fledgling Town?
King Braun. I never run into him in my or heard about him in my travels.
Yeah, and that makes sense because he's not the rightful king. This may surprise you. He is my father's brother, but I am the rightful king. I'm looking for somebody to help me.
I have run into tales such as yours. Do you have any proof for your accusation?
Why do you need proof? He looks and he fumbles around in his belongings, and he pulls out a ring and he shows it to you. He doesn't let you touch it, but he shows it to you, and it's got markings of a royal crest on it. Make a CV prestige check for me. See if you recognize this crest. CV is 0, by the way.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I got a 12. Sorry.
Yeah, it looks.
What it was.
No, it's okay. You can just say yes or no. I just didn't hear you.
Yeah.
You look at it. It's clearly a royal ring, royal crest, but you don't recognize the crest. But it's clearly legitimate signet ring. But you just don't recognize it. And he says this.
Never seen such.
He folds it up in a cloth and sticks it in his waistcoat. I tell you, you help me run my uncle out of Fledgling Town, and I could make you a knight. I could give you land. So much I could do for you.
Or drink, obviously.
Forget the drink. Drink is easy. Drink is easy.
And women, I suppose. Yes.
What do you expect? What do you expect, the prince?
Is that why you're not? If you've been indulging in women and drink,
that does not give them the right, my birthright, to take my birthright as the king of Fledgling.
Did they not run you out on the rails because of that?
They have not run me out. I have traveled here, thus looking for individuals like yourself who might, for coin, help a man get back his rightful seat.
For coin.
Well, of course. Do you think I would ask you to do it for whore and ale? No.
No. But you have to admit, a man in your condition.
But I can bathe.
In Dredgewater, of all places, and you're sitting here claiming to be a king.
It's the first town along the way that's not under the influence of
What's your entourage, sir? I see your signet ring. Can identify it. How am I not to know you didn't pilfer that off of a dead body, off the real king?
Well, what does it matter to you?
It matters to me a great deal if you expect to claim that you can pay me for ousting your brother.
There is
that would be a fool, Baron.
There is an old man who lives on the edge of the county of Fledgling. He will verify who I am. All you need is to go with me to him. He will verify who I say I am.
More or less a bandit trying to lead me astray into the arms of your waiting ambush.
Do I look like a bandit? Am I armed as a bandit? He's in a woolen tunic with a pretty nice top vest. He has baggage on the floor. He has a dagger you see on his waist. When you came in, you can see it on his waist. He has no armor, no shield.
I didn't live this long being a fool. I'm expected to go to run an errand.
What? So you would rather run an errand than help the rightful king of Fledgling?
If you're back when I return, I gave my word to the man. If you're back when I return, we'll speak on this. But I suspect that you'll be laying in a ditch somewhere.
Oh, you would be wrong. The next time you see me, I will have an army of mercenaries at my back, and you will wish you had come along.
The next time I see you, you'll be cradled up in a barrel.
Empty
barrel, no doubt.
Yes. He finishes his meat.
I stand up and it scrapes backwards. I flip and walk over there toward her. Yeah, my room ready.
It is ready. It is any of those upstairs. And he goes, except for the one on the right.
I was about to say, I turn around and say.
He pulls a silver coin out of his waistcoat and says to the woman, "Where be able-bodied men in this dredgewater?" And she comes scrambling over to the edge. "Why, sir, they'd be out working Washburn's lands. They're out just north of here, Washburn's lands. Many a men." He says, "Thank you," and he puts the silver piece away. He stands up. He looks at you, grabs his baggage, throws it over his shoulder, and as he walks by, he stops and he says, I am Alfred. And find me. I will be between here and Fledgling Town, and you will know me by my camp and by my men." And he heads out. He kicks the door of the Blackleaf Inn open, and you hear his feet hit the wooden front, and then the door shuts.
Yes. If indeed you're telling the truth, perhaps it will happen. Perhaps I'll run into you again, and then I turn around without necessarily a thought,
right,
and walk up the ramp to the room. All right.
As you top the stairs of this inn, you see there's a row. Again, this is a 2-story. Everything upstairs clearly is rooms. And as you the stairs is on a far side. It borders the outside wall, so it's the stairs are up against the wall of the outside wall, up the stairs and into a hall. The hall is right in the middle, and there are rooms obviously on either side that dissect or bisect this upper story. The very first room on the right that he says was his is left there. You can actually hear somebody as you kind of start past that. You can hear somebody in there rustling around.
Okay. I pause and knock on the door.
Yes. Who's there?
Who occupies this room?
Oh, that would be Alfred, the rightful Prince Alfred.
Prince Alfred, and I assume you're his maid in waiting.
The door pulls open, and it's a 12-year-old girl. Hair clean, dressed fairly nicely. A little bit dirty. I mean, they don't bathe every day in the Dark Ages. But she looks up. She goes, "You mean my brother? I am his sister."
My lady, pardon me. I see I've mistook your brother.
For my brother, the prince. What did he do now? Is he drunk?
Yes. Regrettably so. It gave me the wrong conclusion.
I had to drag him here. I had to drag him out of a whorehouse last night, and we camped in the cold of the swamps west But he's a good man. We got here this morning about an hour ago.
A good man, but if you forgive me saying, not fit for rule according to his actions that you yourself.
Yes, he is a bit lazy. He's a bit immature. He's a bit wrongful-headed, but he is the rightful king of Fledgling. What our uncle has done is not right.
I'm sorry to disturb you. I wish you well and the best. Your brother, it seems, has taken leave of the inn here.
Yes, he is.
But if you do need any help, my lady, just let me know. My name is Amir.
Amir, thank you. I'll
be in the room over there.
I am Jezebel.
Dang, that's some foreshadowing. All right. And I kind of bow to her or whatever like that, and take 2 steps back and turn on my heel.
Okay.
My room.
She watches you as you choose a room, and then she shuts the door once she sees which. I don't know if you actually go into a room, but whatever one it looks like you choose, she waits until you choose it, and then she shuts the door.
Yeah,
so
I go in and shut the door. And I've been traveling for a while anyway. I need to rest up and clean myself off, if any possible. And then,
there's a tankard of water there. There's a wooden basin there to wash.
Wash my body off, and I'll try to lay down on the mat and take a nap before I have to head off in the morning because I know I got a 2-day walk.
Okay.
All right. So that's what I'll be doing.
About 2 a.m, lots of noise. And again, during the day, as you rest the day, you clean up, you meditate, you relax, you sleep. You hear people come and go below, and you hear the normal tavern noises of the evening when people come in to eat and drink and socialize. And eventually, by 10 or so, it's pretty quiet. The dredge folk have all gone home, etc. But about 2 a.m, you hear the banging of feet upon the hardwood floor. You hear them running up the stairs, and you hear them hit the door right down the hall, and you hear it bust in, and you can hear mumbled loud voices, but you can't quite make out what's being said.
I'm already up whenever the inclination of hearing it. Right. I'm already up and grabbing my my stuff. I haven't strapped on any kind of armor yet, but I'm grabbing my mace.
Okay.
And I open the door and look down the hall to see what I can see.
You see, it's the room. It's the first door on the right. It's the room of the girl Jezebel and Prince Alfred. And you can see somebody standing in the doorway. Their feet. You can see at a couple of times. You hear a little better now. Yes, we must go. We've got help. We've got help. And then he steps out and he looks down the hall, sees you, and it's Alfred. And he says, he smiles and he says, "I'm sorry. Did I wake you, friend? I have got my men. They wait for me. They wait for me in Fledge."
Well, I mean, whenever he was knocking on the door, I said, "Ho there!" To pull him up short, and then that's when he would notice it.
Okay.
Notice whatever. All right. So that's what he says.
Yep.
You have your men. Well, good sir, maybe I was premature in my my assertion of you. I spoke with her, so I wish you well, and no harm was intended.
Yes, yeah. Well, you've had an opportunity to help the Prince of Fledgling Town. We could have made you famous, but good day. And she follows him out with her luggage, her bag, and her stuff. She looks back at you and says, "It was nice to meet you, Amir." And she curtsies very politely and follows her big brother down the steps.
All right, and her big brother's name is
Alfred. Yeah.
Yeah.
Prince Alfred. Yeah.
Okay. I say Alfred before he gets too far down. When I see the little girl behind him.
Yeah, he stops at the bottom of the stairs, looks over her head, up the stairs at you as you peek around. Yes.
Are you certain that the help you have is reliable? Enough to protect the girl?
He stands back and he says, "Oh, you don't think I'm a good judge of men? Did I not select you? I think I am a better judge of men than you, sir. Come now, Jezebel, let's go." And he turns, and she looks up at you again and shrugs, bows, and starts to
Alfred, you came to me. Yeah, you came to me first, and you went to them second. As long as they're capable, I'm okay. But I worry about the girl. Your sister, she shouldn't be out in this environment, not without capable hands to protect her, capable men about. Now, these men you think may very well be capable.
He says, "Jezebel, have a seat," and he crosses back over to the inn, gets close to you, and he says, "Do not scare the girl, but let me tell you, had I left her there, she would be dead, and I as well had I stayed. I had to bring her. My uncle would have killed her, and me, of course, as the rightful heirs. What do you propose I do with her?"
How many men do you have in your entourage?
"I've met 3 on the road. They appear to be good men and mercenaries all. They say there's another 3. There will be 6 of us. Well, and me, 7.
Where do you travel to?
We are going to Fledgling town. That is where my uncle, the king, is at."
And you expect to just accost him and take him out and his forces? But he now comes.
He looks around again and leans in and says, "I know a secret way into the fort. We will get in under cover of darkness. We will have his head before the men act. Once I have his head, I am the king."
But you need someone to watch the girl. You're taking in their precarious position here. You need someone to oversee the girl. You do not want to be responsible for her death.
"This is true. That's why I brought her." He stands back. "Jezebel, come here." She comes over, dragging now her bag of stuff.
Lead her back.
And he looks at you and says, "Jezebel, this is Amir. Amir appears to be volunteering to babysit you. Is that not so, Amir?"
Jezebel, and I look at her. Do you feel comfortable with me, my lady?
She looks at her brother and she says,
"Give it up."
"Yeah, prestige roll."
Okay, 10.
Ooh, yeah. She steps back a little bit and says, you seem like an honorable and good man, and
I want to.
But I don't know you very well, and you turned my brother down. I'm not certain what you're about."
His approach and appearance was not becoming of a prince. No offense, Alfred, but your sister, I can tell her stance that she is a lady. So, and I look at him.
But isn't that the luxury of the fairer sex? Come, man, you have been a young man. You must know. She is of the fairer sex. Of course, she appears more.
You ran from. You go back to where you ran from to keep her safe. Is it not wise to keep her away from this?
Yes, but if I take her back, they will kill her. She is the princess, and I the prince. They will kill us.
Yes, and I have an errand to run. Perhaps it is wise to let me take Jezebel along with me. I will return in a week. I have an errand to run for the smithy.
We will meet, and we will leave for Fledgling town tomorrow eve. In the night, we will take the head of the king. So come to Fledgling town in 2 days, or at least 2 days hence, and you will find me on the throne, and you will be welcomed as the ward of my sister. Or she will be the ward of you, I should say.
All right, so she comes with me then. Is it agreed?
He says it is. And Jezebel, you will do as I say. He is a good man. And he looks and he says, God help you if you are not a good man.
God speed you on your way.
He takes her over to the side, whispers something to her. He kneels down, holds her shoulders, whispers a few things to her, and they hug each other and embrace. And he pulls away, and then he picks up his sack and his bag, and he looks at you and he says, "When we meet again, things will be better." And he's out the door again. And she looks up at you with her sack and throws it over her shoulder, and she says, "Can we go back to bed now?"
Yes, my lady. But be prepared for in an hour we leave.
Okay. So up the stairs, she goes back into her room. You retire to your room. In an hour or so, you're packed up, ready to go. Again, no noise down below. This is about 3:30 in the morning, 4 in the morning. It's dark.
Yeah, sorry. I would have said at daybreak.
Yeah, okay, daybreak. Okay.
Middle of the night.
Okay, yeah, because it was 2 when he came in, right? 2 in the morning.
Yeah, at daybreak we leave then.
Okay. So again, you hear noise below, kind of wakes you as she is obviously downstairs at the Black Leaf Inn preparing breakfast. You can hear banging and rumbling around. And a couple of people, you hear voices as people come in the morning, maybe stopping in for a bowl of oh my God, what is it? Oatmeal. What is that stuff called?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Right.
Oh, mush, gruel.
Mush, gruel, right? And so you hear all this as you pack up, as you get ready, and you actually on your way out have to bang the door of the girl and rouse her. She is sleepy faced. She clearly was sleeping through all this noise, and she looks up with her bag and says, "Why so early?"
Why so early? You need to get breakfast. I told you to be ready.
Mm-hmm.
We were leaving out. Now, how far away is? It's a little bit out of it, but Fledgling Town is.
Fledgling Town is about. It's about a day's full march. The place you're going is a day and a half, 2 days technically.
Gotcha.
Fledgling Town is east. It's the opposite direction. Fledge County, Fledgling Town is about a day's full march east, the other way. And you might have even passed through its country on your way to Dredgewater.
Okay, gotcha. All right. You get dressed and meet me downstairs. Breakfast will be ready, and then I walk away from her. Okay, mm-hmm. I'm walking downstairs. The maiden over the Gold Leaf Inn.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, this is the Black Leaf Inn. The Gold Leaf Inn's on the river.
Yeah, Black Leaf Inn. Mm-hmm. Okay. Good morning.
Yeah, she looks up. Yes, you are up with the help. Good for you.
Yes, indeed. I need to speak with you a moment.
Yes, and she slides a bowl of gruel in front of you, and slaps down a wooden spoon. The girl sets up beside you.
Now, I'm going to do this before the girl gets there.
Right. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
All right. So I'm kind of looking up, make sure she's coming down.
Okay.
I need to speak with you a moment. The girl.
She looks over your shoulder at the girl, maybe sitting at a table eating her breakfast.
Yeah. Okay.
Out of earshot. I mean,
yeah, I know. The girl is, to be frank with you, ma'am, I need someone to watch her while I make an errand.
That girl, she came in here with that other stranger yesterday morning, that Alfred. Claims he's the prince, the king of Fledgling County, right? Across the road? Yes, what of
it? Indeed. But you yourself saw the coin he waved yesterday.
I did.
So if he's off on some kind of mad expedition, or if he's indeed truly true, this could net us both some coins.
How so?
In this.
How so?
If you watch the girl from in, she could stay here and be help and aid to you. until I return.
Okay, that's going to be a prestige check versus her CV4.
Oh, 19.
Oh, she says, coin now, and I'll watch her. You may never come back. I'll be saddled with this little barmaid, this little kitchen scullery maid.
No. I have an errand to do for Dar. You know, your town smithy.
Yes.
Yes.
What errand is that you can't take a girl?
It's a two-day march across ferry.
I
could take the girl, but she would slow me down. I want to get back here as fast as possible. You see?
Mm-hmm.
And having her out in the wilderness, she might be better suited to helping you here.
Do you have coin? Do you have some coin to pay me in case you do not return?
Yes, I will return. In fact, yes. Okay. I reach in there and grab 5 coppers, 1 for each day.
Okay.
This, and I'm saying it as I'm clipping down every one of them. This is for you to attend to her and protect her.
Well, that's all you had to. That's all you had to say. And she scoops it up into her hand, and she does something with it below the.
I lean in. Do not speak of her situation to anyone, or her supposed status.
Okay.
Okay.
I wouldn't go spreading their lies and their rumors. What you think? It would make me look a fool. Don't you worry. She's just a rat. She's just a brat.
Indeed, but she can be of help to you, and obviously net us a couple of. She's already netted you more coin. So we have an agreement.
She is safe. She is safe enough here. Yes.
All right. I trust you keep it. And then I stand up and I go over to the girl and I sat down and I said, my dear.
Yes, Amir. This gruel is awful. Have you eaten this? And she slides it over to you.
We'll see about her getting you some better food.
Good.
And I say this because it's a lot better than the food you would eat on the road. I will. I've paid her enough to assure that if you stay here, there's a room for you each day, and meals for you. You stay here, you can get all the rest you need in the morning, or all the rest you need, and I'll return in 4 or 5 days' time.
You're leaving me here with her?
Yes. Yes, I'm leaving you here. I'm leaving you here because it affords more protection for you. And I will return. You remember?
No, actually, no. I mean, you're just giving her an order. Not much she can do about it, right? She frowns and wrinkles her nose, pulls her plate of gruel back from you, and it takes dainty bites of it and sighs. I do hope my brother gets on the throne soon.
I have no doubt he will, my dear. And rest assured that you'll be taken care of while you're here.
Mm-hmm.
Though it's not the best of accommodations, it's certainly better than being on the road or being with your brother right now. And that's what I'm concerned about is your safety. So keep your chin up. And then I delight with her chin and smile at her.
And she smiles and giggles. You remind me of my father who's now dead. She starts to cry a little bit, right?
Yes, don't linger on those thoughts, my dear. Keep a happy face, even though you're in Dredgewater, and I will return. And we shall set forth to see what your brother has done.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I get up and pinch her little cheek and stand up, and I'll return.
Yes.
And I motion toward the lady too and walk toward the door.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have my gear and everything already there.
Yeah.
Everything up and start walking out.
Okay.
I've got his seal, and I cut out toward
the Goldleaf Inn, which sets right on Dridge. Right, it's the highest. It's on the highest stilts in the whole village, as it anticipates the flooding of Dredge River every year. And next to that is a ferry that will take you across the river. Yeah. Then it's a day and a half hike once you cross the river. You're going to Honsor is the name of the village. Honsor. Honsor.
I should have known that Dar would have settled me with the ferry fees. I have to get him on the back end of this. I walk it, as I say, as I walk up to the ferryman.
Yeah. Yes, it's a little old man. He's bent over. He can't stand straight up as he comes over. Yes, the coin.
The coin. Yes. Then I slide 1 copper.
That'll do. And he checks it. Oh, yeah, that'll do. Secure yourself. We will be across in about 30 minutes. And then he heads over to the crank. And this ferry is on a large tar rope that stretches the length. And there's a crank. And he's been over and he grabs it. And he starts to crank it.
Okay,
and it jolts loose, hits the water, starts to bounce and float, and then slowly he starts pulling this across. And as he does, every time he...
As he's doing that, I'm standing in the middle of the ferry, kind of just, posing and looking around over the thing.
Right.
I don't heed him at all. That's his job. I just paid him to do it.
Yep. And it is a large river. It flows fairly quickly. You don't see a lot of ripples, so you think it's probably deep. There's not a lot of rocks and rubble in this river that would create whitecaps. Yeah. So this is a large river and probably fairly deep. And again, he doesn't lie to you. It takes you 30 minutes or so for him to crank this thing across. And when he gets to the other side, as you arrive, you see 3 horsemen standing at the banks with three. Let's make a prestige check for you, sir. CV0.
6.
Okay. You recognize immediately these are soldiers of the king. This would be the king, right? The king that supposedly would unite England. These are soldiers with his crest and his herald, and they are. London is the seat of this king, and they are a week's, maybe 10 days journey on horse.
That area,
right, to London. But they pull the horses onto the ferry. They don't salute you, but they tip their heads to you.
I'm looking at them as I'm walking off, or I'm stepping off the ferry. Mm-hmm. Tip him well.
They look and they look, and as you turned to start, you hear the little guy go, "I need my coin," and you hear him say, "For the king, old man, row." And then you hear and they as you turn over your shoulder, you kind of see him that he's like stumbling across and then he runs over and grabs it, starts trying to crank.
Okay, I'm standing on the bank, kind of just looking at him. Mm-hmm. Go off.
Yep.
All right, I shake my head and turn around and make my way toward the walk.
Okay. So you walk for a good 4 hours. Make a little check here. And you come to and again, this is not a complete road. It's like a trail. These aren't manicured roads. These aren't cobbled roads. These are like old wagon and migration trails that people use to cross, right? And this is swampy area. Again, this is much of a very high water table, lots of flooding. So you're stomping through mud and muck. After about 4 hours, midday, you're hot. You come to a clearing, right, out of the trees, and in the clearing sits an individual in full armor on a stool, and he's got a tent. He's got a very attractive purple and gold tint, and he sits on a stool. He's got a horse beside him that's barded, and he's in full plate, beautiful. And he's sitting on this stool, and when he sees you come out of the trees, he stands. And
well met, sir.
And he grabs his two-handed sword. He walks out to block your path. Well met, and who are you to say well met? You can hear it echo through his helmet. He's got a full face shield.
I'm Amir. I'm
Amir?
traveling.
I don't know Amir. You are not a knight, sir.
You would be correct in that. I am but a sellsword.
A sellsword. You are the worst of the dishonorable.
A mercenary. You presume too much about me and my nature, sir.
Let's make a prestige check. He's CV5.
Nope, 19.
You look him over pretty close. His crest, his colors. You just don't know who this guy is. But he's clearly a knight. He's in beautiful armor. He says, "You will have to pay the fee to get onto Hansor from here. I collect coin for the crown.
Knights such as you harasses travelers with a toll?
I maintain the status. Sellswords equals banditry in this region.
Banditry?
You are but
a highway robber in this situation.
You are but an empty purse away from becoming a bandit. There's no honor in you.
And you're emptying my purse. There's no honor in that.
If you have a coin, then I know that you are. Then I know that you are reliable.
What king? I saw some of your. No, does he don't have the same?
Nope. Oh no, not the same garb. Nope.
Okay. What king do you collect for?
King Harold. Here in Hansor County.
King Harold.
Make a CV3 check. A prestige.
3.
Okay, so you know there is no King Harold. You know that is total fabrication.
Yeah. King Harold indeed. I wouldn't take it that a knight such as you would be prone to lie. And then I start sliding out my or not sliding, but
reaching for your
reaching for this.
He stands back.
I suggest you back away, sir. Let me.
Okay, let's make one more. Let's make one more. Your body. Let's make your this would be still another. Let's make a prestige versus CV5 again. Yeah. Here's the deal: if you succeed, it may be non-confrontational, but if you fail, there's a good chance it's going to be confrontational, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna see. I mean, he's obviously hollow words. 5. Okay.
He sets his two-hand sword in the. He drives it into the ground. He pulls his helmet off and sets it on the hilt of the sword as it sits in the ground, and it wobbles there for a second. Yeah. He then pulls off his glove, his metal glove, and drops it on the ground. Pulls off another metal glove, drops it on the ground, and he says, "We shall do this barefisted," and screams and charges at you. So let's make a combat roll, see if you avoid getting punched in the nose.
All right. I'm going to...
This is all non-lethal.
As he's doing that, I would have set mine 2 down.
Okay.
And came up like this, all right?
Okay.
So it's coming at me?
Yep. Your combat is 2, so you'll be at a -3. So you're at 1 to 7, sir.
No, I do have a good shield.
Right, which puts you at combat 2. Mm-hmm.
Okay, 9.
Okay, so he catches you before you can fully throw your stuff down, and hits you square in the face, and pulls back and laughs. See, you're not even capable of a good pugilistic fight, and that'll be 1 injury. It's not lethal, but just 1. Gotcha. You might spit blood, and he laughs. I'm in full armor, and I can take you.
I turn around and go right after him. All right. After I shake and clear my head. All right, 10.
Okay, he steps aside and in the back of the head, punches you in the back of the head.
Just be stumbling forward twice.
Right.
I almost hit the ground before I gather myself.
Yeah.
My head's riddled a little bit, and I turn it around.
This is more fun than killing you anyway. Come. And he stands.
Indeed. And I take a running bull rush.
Okay.
I like to use that word, bull rush. 7.
Oh, nice. Describe how you injure.
Okay, I kind of buckle into it and half lift him up and push him back and fall over on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so you're on the ground now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's on the ground and he's trying to pull your arms and hit you while you got him on the ground. Yeah. So he's swinging for you.
All right, 16.
Oh, so pow, another shot. You roll off. He gets up. You hear his metal plate as he tries to stand up. As you roll up, you're both back on your feet. He laughs and says, "Are you ready to play? I can hear the coin jiggle in your pocket. Give it up."
You're gonna hear your teeth rattle in your mouth, and then I take another swing at him. All right, 7.
Oh, nice. Wobbles his knees as you clock him. He's
uppercut. Yeah.
He stumbles back a little bit.
All right, 2.
Oh, you clock him again. At this point,
straight across.
Nice. He stumbles to the right. Now he's a little dazed, and he's taking taking random swings.
All right, I rolled a 5.
Oh, knocked him out. So the last shot. Now you see his knees buckle, his eyes roll back, and you hear his metal plate as he hits the mud in the ground.
I put the blood out over him like that and grab my jaw, put my loose tooth. All right, turn around and walk over there and start picking up my stuff.
He's moaning, groggily moaning. He's bloodied. He's got a little blood in his mouth. His nose is broken.
Yeah. I just keep walking out of there. After I spit like that and pick my stuff up indignantly just down the road.
Okay. Again, at some point you stop maybe for a break, by a stream, get a little fresh water, maybe eat a snack. And you're back on your feet. You hike again for another 4 or 5 hours until dark. Actually, it comes pretty quick because it is early fall, so it's dark a little earlier. And you're able to now we can roll to set camp here based on your mind or your spirit. Do you want to use your awareness to set
yeah.
Oh, you're gonna use your lay of the land, mind. Okay.
Yeah.
CV0 here.
20.
Oh my gosh. Oh, so you basically are so tired, unaware. You plop down, you roll out your blankets, you make your fire, and you realize at about once you start, I'm assuming cooking, you're gonna get some food, refreshment that'll heal up your wounds. By the way, the one wound. So these are injuries, but you get one back, so you've got just 2 now. But you're eating, and then you realize you hear some noise behind you. You've picked the worst possible place to camp at the not 20 feet from the mouth of a cave, and you hear something rummaging about, echoing about as you kind of turn around on the rock with your plate of food, and you realize that not 20 feet from you is a mouth of a cave, and something smells this beans you're cooking or something.
Okay.
This is a critical error, by the way. He rolled a 20. That's a critical error, so it's not pretty.
I freeze with
you picked the wrong place to camp.
I hear this shuffling around, and then notice my eyes go. When I'm seeing this cave, and I slowly kind of get up and set the food down, and start reaching for my stuff, trying to gather stuff up to see if I can slip out of here.
Okay.
It's quite awesome.
You hear the where is it at? I can't find it. You hear the caterwaul of a cat, probably a bobcat, smaller cat. and it slinks out. Now you can let's make a, if you want to try to pack up and limp away, tell me how you're going to do that and not draw its attack.
Okay. Well, I'm going to keep looking at it while I'm grabbing stuff like that, and slowly just try to back out of the situation, letting him have his territory. That's all I'm doing.
Okay.
Because he's already sees me,
Yep.
I'm just primed for if I have to throw everything down and go into combat.
Okay, so let's make a. I'm going to give you a bonus for that. So let's make a CV2 check against it.
Okay.
And this could be your mind?
Yeah. A 16.
Okay. It caterwauls again, and its hackles up its tail up as it starts to prowl toward you. It definitely is in the I'm hungry posture, having just smelled your cooking and all this, right?
Yeah. I am backing up. I kicked the food that I had on the ground as I got everything in my hand. I'll
if you're putting food out in front of it, it'll go for the food.
That's what I did with the mace. Because I'd let the food down. I take it and scoot it a little bit toward it.
And it just prowls over and caterwauls, and then it dives into this plate of lamb or whatever it is, stew, rabbit or something, giving you time to back away and evacuate into the darkness.
Back out and get back to the main road. I didn't get any kind of meal that evening, so I'm hungry. What time is it?
Right. Well, it's you can certainly find a spot to lay down with a blanket and sleep best you can. You just won't suffer anymore, but you won't get a full wound back. So you're still now. These were non-lethal wounds, so you would gain them back with a night's rest. So you are at 1 non-lethal. Actually, these were punches, so you're back to full. I mean, that's crazy. You haven't been able to eat, but these were non-lethal wounds. So
yeah, you're
still
back sore, tired. If we can narrate that stuff out.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It might affect your, something later, but Next morning, you're up with the cold. It's a cold morning. There's a thick fog. You can maybe see 10 to 12 feet. It is misty and dewy, cold as you get up you get your wool blanket, and you're up. There's been no other noise in the night and no other travelers so far.
I mean, I'm covered in a blanket of dew, and I take the blanket off of me and shake it off and stand up, and I'm looking around. Obviously, vision doesn't go out that far. Mm-mm. And I'm still sore from sleeping on the ground. I had a better pallet made of that campsite. Mm-hmm. Froze during the night because it didn't reset its fire. And but I grabbed my stuff, stretch, and step out back onto the road and start heading along my journey.
Slow going. It is bitter. It's chilly. There is a little bit. You can tell that as high as the water table and the river are low, you climbed up partially on your way to Hanso, but then you dropped down into a valley, and there's a little bit of a chill here as you dropped in elevation, and the cold air hung here sinking. Again, very thick fog. By about midday, the fog has cleared a little bit. It's warmed up a little bit, and now you can see in the distance a palisade village surrounded by a palisade. You're probably another hour or so hike from it. You can just see it on the rise. This must be Hansor.
I'm glad to get there.
You do see people working in the fields. As you pass along, you see people pulling carts. There are people with donkeys, and they've got vegetables, and they're mingling about. They're peasants, serfs.
Is that Hansor?
Yes, yeah, it is. They're not in, they're peasants working, and they nod. And
still active there.
The smithy.
Yes.
Yes, the smithy's there.
All right. Thank you. I keep walking.
Okay.
All right. They're straight up into the gate.
So as you approach, the gates open. There are people mingling about. Lots going on as you enter the city. or the village.
Or the smithy. I'm just asking anybody and everybody around me.
People point, and it doesn't take you long to see the fires and to hear the clanging. As you approach, though, this is for this small little village. This is a nice smithy. There's two guys in here hammering away. They're both young, 16, 18 years old, muscled up. They're both blonde, blue-eyed, covered in soot, and they're banging away. They've got a rack of what look like newly fashioned swords. They're working currently on maybe more of those. And you can see in the back there is an older gentleman with an apron, and he's working on something as you approach.
All right. Good sir, well met. I get his attention.
Yeah, and the two that are hammering away don't even acknowledge you. They're working. These two young bucks. He looks up. Yes, and he comes over, wiping his hands. He's got a little bit of food in his beard. It looks like he might have been eating.
On an errand from from Dredgewater.
Yes, Dar. Yes.
Says you have a package for me to return to him.
Is that right?
Yes, that's what he says. Are you not aware of this?
Now, what did he say? What did he say I owed him?
He said you had some iron ore that I need to return to him.
Really? Iron ore. And how do I know you're here on behalf of Dar? You look like a bandit. Look at your bloodied nose and your.
Yes, there was a supposed knight of King Alfred on the road to that waylaid me. So,
boys, come listen to this. These guys stop hammering. And they come over sweating. Yes, father. What is it? This fool was beaten up by Sir Georgie out there on that fool.
Beaten up.
Did he get
I
your
think
money?
That he got the worst of it. Sir Georgie, who is he? Some fool?
What he is, he used to be a knight of great repute. Now he's decided to police our county. He claims that no one is keeping the thugs and the villains out. So you, sir, are a thug or a villain?
He certainly thought I was, but I'm sure I gave him something to chew on.
Yes.
Barnaby. He'll know not this would be when I return to Dredgewater.
Barnaby, this man says that Dar from Dredgewater, we have a package for him, but he thinks I'm going to just hand it over without evidence that he is here on behalf of Dar.
Yes, and I show him his mark.
Ah, yes, that is Dar's mark. Good. He rolls it up, and he sets it down behind him, and he reaches under and pulls out, and you see his muscles ripple as he pulls out this for the lack of a better term, it's a wood basket with iron to keep the wood in, like an old barrel that's been cut, and bang, drops it down and slides it forward. The nails are in there with the iron bars. Good luck to you.
Yes, and how does he expect me to? Jeez Louise. Have you not a cart, a mule?
A cart or a mule? Well, you can get one. You can get one down there at the grove.
This expedition is costing me.
Did you not ask questions before you worked for Dar?
I'll return, and I turn around on my heel and walk out.
Right.
And I walk down the road to where he pointed.
Yeah, to a corral, the groom. Yeah, and there's a young guy. There's a young boy out there washing the horses and brushing the horses, feeding the horses.
Boy.
Yes, and he looks up. Yes, he comes running over. Yes, what can we do for you?
I need. Do you know anyone that is that regularly travels to Dredgewater from here with a cart and a horse?
Dredgewater. Who goes to Dredgewater?
Certainly, no one goes there, but they certainly pass through Dredgewater.
There may be people that head that direction, and unfortunately, Dredgewater is in their way on their way to the greater cities of Fledgling Town and London and Wimberley. Yes,
but if there's a caravan, or if there's anyone who is interested in that, that's all I need to know. It's worth the coin to them.
Well, I would not know that. What do you need?
I need to transport some goods, some ore that your smithy has.
If you've got coin, you can rent this cart. And he points out the little cart, and we can hook old Gus the mule to it, and you can ride right up there in the front with your baggage and go.
Okay, first question: where I'm at? Okay, it's in the opposite direction. I'm back to where I came from. Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Right, so you went, Dredgewater, you went west to Honsor, and now you'll have to go back east to Dredgewater. And then Fledgling Town is east of Dredgewater.
How much is the rental?
He looks at you and says, how long do you need it? Will you bring it back, or will you allow it to come back with somebody else?
I'll allow it, since he sent me on this fool's errand, I'll allow Dar, the smithy at Dredgewater, to bring it back.
He leans in. He says, My father could spare me, so for 5 copper, I will go with you, and I can bring the cart back for 5. If you take it yourself, and he's going to want enough to hold the cart if you never return.
This venture is washed out more so than Dredgewater itself. Okay, it's agreed upon. Good night.
Yes. He jumps up. Yes, stay. And he runs to and you hear him talking to somebody.
I want you all to contend with that imbecile Sir. What is his name?
The boy's talking to somebody. He comes out with a sack, and he walks over and he throws it in the cart, and he says, "Come on." Well, he's hooking up old Gus. He climbs up in the cart. You can climb up beside him. And he whips old Gus into motion on this little cart. You two can sit in the front, Gus.
Okay.
And you stop by the and he sets this barrel with all this iron and nails in it. He's smiling. This is
the package. We're gonna take it to Dar.
Mm-hmm. And they all watch, and they laugh and snicker.
Load it up for me already.
Careful, old Sir Georgie. Would you like a big sword to face old Sir Georgie?
Outside the fool. No, but I could. Now, you said they got an array of different weapons, right?
Yeah, they're working on, it looks like, an order of military-grade swords right now.
Okay. The situation allows. Yes, I might as well take the opportunity. What do you have for what do you have on offer? And I'll look at them, and I'm reaching in on the roll to see if I can get like an excellent.
Okay.
Excellent sword.
This is a CV6, but the sword. Again, you do have one. Well, you've kind of broke that silver down into, but you could certainly put copper toward it. The CV. Hold on, the sword itself. This is a CV6 blacksmith, but his sword, excellent. Where is it? Excellent sword is 5, CV5. So you can use your purse, which is 2. That's minus. So you're at -3. So 1 to 7, sir, to secure this excellent sword.
3. Boom.
Nice. He pulls it out, and you finagle and talk about. That's outstanding. I feel for you. I'm concerned that you will die at the hands of Sir Georgie, so I will make that deal with you. And he hands this sword over to you, and he says, "What are you doing with that?"
Sir Georgie's trying to kill off your customers.
Well, he will have trouble with you now, won't he? Give me that busted old rested thing you've got.
Thanks to you. Yes, maybe you can
nice.
Put better use to it than I can.
So now you have a excellent sword with a 2. So now your fighting just went up to 4. 1, 3. Your fighting now went up to 3 with an excellent. Oh wait, you also have a good shield. So you were 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're up to a combat of 4 with an excellent sword and a good shield.
I get a 3.
Or no, yeah. So now you're giving up your mace. Are you going to keep your mace? Because you've got a poor mace and an excellent sword.
No, I'll give him the poor. I'll give him the mace for 5 copper.
Okay.
You agree?
Yes, he'll do that.
All right, I get the 5 copper and pay what's his face.
Okay, nice. The boy's waiting patiently. He says, "That's a fine sword there. My name is Billy, by the way, sir."
All right, Billy, take us onward.
It snaps, and old Gus launches into gear. It's about midday. You climb up out of Hansu. The skies are clear. It's beautiful. It's got a little, once in a while, a little wind, a little chilly. As you climb up out of the valley, back up onto the rise, another half day, you pass where you had camped last night. You're moving pretty good with this mule. You get to the area where you had dealt with Sir Georgie. His tent's gone, his horse is gone. There's no sign of him there except other than an old camp pit where he had built a fire and had been staying. He's packed
Billy,
up.
I see. He saw fit to move on to greener pastures.
Sir Georgie is a good man, but he's a bit of a zealot when he seems to think Hansor needs protection.
He seems to think everyone on the road is abandoned.
The kid looks at you up and down
and
says, "Yeah, clearly he's wrong."
All right, stow it. Let's move forward. To get back to.
You get a little farther in the day than you did the day before, but night falls. Yeah. There's been no other action on the road except for normal travelers. These are just peasants and people traveling to and from, maybe people who live out in the boonies coming to Hansor, etc. But we do need to make a camp. Now, again, you want to set the camp. Now, you've got the boy with you. I'll give you a bonus for the boy to help you find a good camp spot. That'll be a +1. So he becomes gear at help you find camp spot.
Yeah, he knows the way along this path. Mm-hmm. What do you think we should stop, Billy?
CV0 is your difficulty.
Oh, look there. This is so ironic, Jason. I rolled a 20 first off. Now I just rolled a 1.
Oh, nice. Oh, now how do we reflect? So why don't you narrate what a critical success looks like? Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That maybe should be.
Okay, I'll do that. So
your thing.
Billy and you together, you're building a camp. You're building a fire. You've got your blankets down. The mule is not hobbled and is eating grass. The cart's in good shape. And Billy goes down to the stream, comes back with some fish, but more importantly, comes back and he slides up and he says, "There is something down there by the stream. I dare not cross the stream. There's a bundle on the other side of the stream."
A bundle, you say?
A bundle. I don't know if it's a person or a thing, or it looks like a bundle of clothes or a sack or something.
Stay here and tend the fire.
Mm-hmm. I will fillet the fish. So he starts gutting the fish and getting them ready for dinner.
Yeah, I'll way down into the stream.
Yeah, it's about 50 yards. So you could yell to each other, but you got to move down through the trees and down to this little stream, a trickle of stream. And sure enough, it's about 8 feet across. It's only about ankle deep, maybe shin deep. But there is some bundle. It looks like a body or clothes or something on the other side of the stream.
Okay. You there? And I'm starting to wade through the water. Okay. Mm-hmm. I take a little pebble, pick up from the shore, and I'll toss it.
It hits. No movement, no noise. As you get a little closer, there doesn't appear to be. It doesn't appear to be feet or a head or anything. So it's either totally covered, or there is no.
Well, yeah, I'm going above the water, so I kind of poke at it, pull the fabric.
It feels. It's got a little weight to it, and you hear a little jangle as you hit this.
Try to pick.
It looks like it's a woolen blanket, is what it looks like once you get the sword onto it.
Okay, I kind of lift the blanket up.
Yeah, it appears as though somebody has, in a hurry, abandoned this area and left their backpack and some a sack and this blanket, but there's no sign of a person around here at all.
Okay. No prints or whatever like that. So I'll start picking this stuff up.
Not that you can discern. So who knows how long it's been here.
I'll start picking this stuff up and hold it over my head and take it back.
Okay.
It's not overly heavy,
As you arrive back at the camp and you toss it down, you
going through it by the campfire.
You find very nice common clothes. This would actually improve your prestige if you were wearing this. There is a sack of about 12 copper pennies, a small purse, 12 copper pennies. Nice, good, again, common clothes. There is this wool blanket, a backpack, right? There is a flask of, as you twist the cork out and smell it, it's out some kind of alcohol. Okay. And that appears to be, and there's like a neckerchief or a scarf in it. It smells of lavender. It smells of, it smells of perfume. Or at least, as if somebody,
Yeah.
Okay. The clothes are not females' clothes, though. These common clothes are men's clothes.
Something, Billy.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Indeed, see something, Billy. Someone left.
He's been looking over your shoulder as you went through everything. Is that what you found? Is that what you found? Was there a body? What was that bundle? Was this it? He's asking questions and watching, and
looks like it's been there for a while, and there was no prints left off. So
it looks like we picked the right place to camp. And he hands over your plate of fresh fish. It's wonderful, fresh fish. I mean, this has just been a great day compared to yesterday. Yeah. This has been a brilliant day.
All right, yeah. All right. So anyway, we got that. I'll give him one of the blankets as we're sleeping there tonight. So
okay.
2 blankets.
Okay.
And sniff the alcohol and take a little drink if it's safe or whatever.
Yeah, it's ale or whiskey. It's some kind of alcohol, and it is definitely for sniffing. Yeah, it's definitely for drinking.
Not so bad. Pass the time.
Do you ever wonder what's your name, sir?
Jasmine. Amir.
Do you ever wonder something like that? Who did that belong to? Who abandoned that down there by the river? What's that about? You ever wonder about that?
Maybe it was somebody that I don't know, Billy. I've seen odd things in my lifetime. I tend not to question them. Otherwise, it'll keep you up at night, and that's what I need.
Those are the kind of things that make me curious. Who would abandon? Who would leave up 12 copper coins? That's almost as much as I earn in a year.
Yes, but
must have been bad. Must have been a bad reason.
Up all night, and we need sleep.
Yes.
So I roll over in my blanket.
Shut up, kid. You hear him up. There's moments in the night you hear him scuffling around, and you hear him poking the fire, and he can't. He's all wound up. This is an adventure. This kid. A couple times you hear him out patting the donkey and murmuring to the donkey, and the next morning. You get up and the fire's smoldering, and this kid is out. He is asleep out to the world.
Okay. I was gonna say,
no.
I thought he's gonna say he was gone.
No. He is asleep.
He's gone.
So he probably only went to sleep about an hour ago. So he's grouchy and groggy as you kick him and get him up. He is a mess. Wiping sleep out of his eyes.
Get sober. Yep. Fresh it up. We got to hit the road. I got to get back to Dredgewater. Look, we've had a fair bit of luck on this. I'll give you some extra coin.
And he's grouchy. He's probably 11 years old. He's 12. Yeah. He's grouchy. He was up all night fiddling around. Now he's exhausted. Anyway, you get in the wagon, you get everything hooked up, and he grumbles as he pushes old Gus into gear. So he's sourpuss most of the day as you travel on. You do arrive in just a few hours at the ferry crossing, and you can see the ferry on the other side.
There she is.
What's that?
There she is, Billy. I'm still kind of goosing because I'm trying to get some sleep. You know what I mean? So I'm egging him on the whole time.
Right. He's like, he'll start to, and you'll nudge him awake, right?
Boy, we'll let you get some rest at the hotel before you head back.
Yeah. Is that Dredgewater? So he gets excited. He stands up on the cart as you get close to the ferry. Is that Dredgewater?
I believe there's a fair maiden there waiting for you too, Billy.
Yeah, he looks. They can't do nothing for you. They can't skin a rabbit. They can't fish. You're crazy. And he reaches over and grabs the bell for the ferry and starts ringing it like hell. And on the other side, you hear the responding ring, ding, 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 that lets the ferry you know. And you watch as it takes him 30 minutes to drag this ferry.
I've already started sitting down. You know what I mean? Yeah. If I had a fishing rod, I'd be.
And the whole time, he's standing there going, God, how long is it going to take him to get over here? How long is it going to take him?
You can will him to go faster, and then I lay back like that on the back.
And as it finally hits, he kicks down the plank, and the boy snaps the mule up onto this ferry, and the guy claps it back in.
And get up out of my mouth, and wander over there. Oh man!
Yes, and he holds out his hand. Yes, sir. Coins, please.
Yes. Did the king's men pay you?
The king's men. Oh, they know. No, they left me be once I got them across.
Yes, they're rascals. And then I'll drop 3 extra coins in there, so I'm dropping 4. You see what I'm saying?
Oh yes, and he bites every one of them, checks every one of them. Okay. Thank you. What is this? You must have won some gambling last night. He waddles it up, sticks it in his purse, and he goes over. Hey there, young lad, and you see him talk to the boy. And hey there, young lad, why don't you crank it? It'd be good for you. And he gets the boy to do the work for him.
Indeed, put your back into it, Billy.
And then he walks out. It comes over to you, all bent over, and says, "Sometimes we can get a break." And he watches. You don't want your copper back, do you?
It'll be good for him.
And the boy's loving it. He's cranking away, moving. Right?
Yeah, give him something to do.
So this thing's moving along the river, and again, you get across in about 17 minutes. Yeah. Right? This kid moves in double time to this old crooked man. And when you hit, of course, it hits a little rough, and the mule whinnies a little bit and stumbles. And the boy's excited. He turns around. He's sweating profusely. Hot dog. And he's up on the cart. He kicks it down. And the old man says, to be like that again. Thank you. And he pats you on the shoulder as you exit. And then he drives this cart off. And from here, again, big gold leaf inn, which is like really nice on the river. Yeah. It's only another 20 yards, 30 yards into the heart of the hamlet, with the church, Black Leaf Inn, and the blacksmith. But unfortunately, in this mud and muck, this thing's sliding and shifting, and finally, it's so heavy, it just bogs down. This poor mule can't drag this cart. And so Billy gets out, and he looks and says, "We're going to have to carry it over there. The cart is stuck in the mud." But literally, you're stuck right in the middle of town. Yeah. Right?
Hold on for a minute. Watch the cart, boy. Mm-hmm. And I start walking over there to Doll's smithy.
Okay.
Doll.
Yeah, and you hear him in here banging this morning. As you pull the canvas curtain back, he stands and looks. Oh, you're back. He comes out, wiping his hands on his apron. So, Amir, have you come back with my?
Indeed, we have, but ended up paying for toll on the river twice. Was accosted by some crazed lunatic on the highway trying to
You didn't have to do all you needed to do was get my iron bars, my nails. You didn't have to do all of that.
Are you listening to me, old fool?
What?
I had to trek to the town to get it, and this is what happened on the way to the town.
But this is worth it. And he reaches back and fumbles around, pulls your buckler up. Look at this buckler. He's polished it up, and he has reinforced it. He spins it around, And he says, "Now look at that, though. Look what I have done for you while you were gone for 2
But
days."
you couldn't do anything. Well, I'd given him that buckler in trade to work on.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it may be worth it for you, but it's a loss for me. I have your nails and your oar outside.
Okay.
Wagon in the mud. I had to pay for that too to get here.
He looks out. I'll go retrieve the bucket. And here is your copper. And he gives you a couple extra. Here's for the ferry ride. As far as your bloodied, as far as your chipped tooth and your wounded pride, well, I can't help that.
That's nothing to me. I've been in a scuffle or two in my life. The boy out there, I had to pay him to be able to take the cart.
He looks out. What boy? There's no boy at the cart.
Billy, the little boy out of the cart. He drove the cart out here for me. He's got to return to.
Well, that may be, but he's not at the cart now.
What?
As you look around, you see him on the Blackleaf Inn, entrance, talking to the girl, Jezebel. They're both about the same age.
He's over there. He's got his eye on the lass. So
yes. So he walks into the mud, and as this guy's a big man, so as he steps across to go get his feet will sink up to ankle deep in this mud. He pulls this out, puts it on his shoulder, and stomps back through the mud this is Dar, the blacksmith. And you see him disappear behind the curtain, and you hear him drop this barrel of iron and nails.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Now, he gives you 20 copper, by the way.
20 copper.
Mm-hmm.
He got my losses were 20 copper. Oh, what an idiot. I had to pay 5 for the boy. 5 for the boy and 2 for the ferry. So hey, it's still.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
When you found 12 copper in that bag.
I know, but that's under the. That's on the down low.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, it gave me 20 copper. I'm walking back over there. Billy.
The boy jumps up. Ooh, Lord. I just rolled for another seed.
Oh, Lord,
2. I just rolled a 2. And extremes in our random seed charts, extremes are the worst things. So we rolled an 11 and now a 2. So as you approach Billy, he jumps off the girl and he comes down and he goes, "My, there's some fine looking lasses here in Dredgewater."
Hey, I know. That's what I told you before we crossed the river. You turned up your nose to me. Now you think differently.
She says she's a princess.
Woo. Wouldn't put too much stock in
My
that. My
dad ain't gonna believe it. I met a princess.
Yes. Yeah. You got a story to tell when you go back.
He looks around. Princess of Dredgewater? Whatever. Okay.
All right. You okay with heading back, boy?
Yes, sir.
Maybe you can help the old man.
Yes, sir.
Craig a call.
Can I have my 5 copper? My dad will skin me alive. I don't get my 5 copper.
Okay. Here you go, boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Thank you. That's mighty fine, mister. I appreciate it. He looks at the girl and whistles to her. "Bye, Princess Jezebel. Maybe we'll meet again." And he's on the cart.
Billy, before you go,
Mm-hmm.
look at him and flip another coin like in the air to him. Let him catch it.
Okay.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. I'll never forget you, Amir. That was fun. And he gets this donkey turned around and finally pulls loose out of the mud, and he's headed over. You see him headed down the road, and you can see the old man meet the boy as they get on the ferry. And then you can see the boy chugging away as the ferry rocks loose and starts across.
Oh, yeah. He's on there. I'm like, all right. That's
to be young again. To be 11 again, right?
Over to the girl and I kneel down. Honey, how you doing? You doing okay?
Mm-hmm. She says, yes, she says that woman's been nice, but she's made me work. She's made me clean and cook.
Work and time, and it's good for you. And I grab her arm, like her muscle, whatever, and help build you up.
But she doesn't know I'm a princess. I've never had to do this. We have scullery maids and cooks and servants in Fledgling Town.
Your resolve. It'll strengthen you, girl. You'll be glad of it later.
So, did you go with my father? Did you help him? How did that go? My brother? Excuse me, my brother? Sorry, that's my fault. That's a GM mistake. He is a...
Yeah, that's fine. No, I had a little bit of trouble on the road. It took me a while. I had to do my errand. I told you I'd get back, and then we could head off to meet him. Have you not heard any word? And I start standing up, and I grab her hand.
It's been 2 days. He told us after 2 days we should be able to return, and he would be on the throne. We should be able to leave. We could be there in another day.
The throne change hand word would have gotten to Dredgewater by now. It's been 4 days since I left off, right? He was supposed to be on there too. That's why.
Right. Well, he left at 2 a.m, and then you got up the next morning. Overnight, and then you came back, stayed a night. So it's just been 2 days.
Oh, really?
You only camped twice. You camped the day on the way.
Gotcha.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
And he left at 2 a.m. of the morning you actually left. So you're literally, it's like 2.5 days. It's been, yeah.
Okay. Well, go pack your things. We'll head there. See
okay.
What word
she goes in. You hear banging. You hear her say something loud. You can't make out what she says, but she's talking obviously to Jules. You can hear her moving through the her feet clomping on the wooden floor.
Yeah.
As you stand here, you start to feel something. You start to feel your feet. As you look down, you realize your feet are sinking as the water is rising around you, and very quickly it's now up at about your knees. You look over at the river.
I'm outside of it. Right now, I'm outside of the thing. Okay.
Right. Yeah, because she was outside talking to the boy.
Gotcha.
Right. And you realize that you look over at the river and you see the river expanding. You start to see boats and things that are there lift up and hit the stilts and float into the middle of the village as you climb up onto the.
Looking around, and I climb up on the stairwell and I run in there. Mm-hmm. Jezebel, get your things quick.
Yeah, she comes down and meets you, and you're standing now on because you walked up onto the outside patio of the Blackleaf Inn, and the water is literally hitting the bottom. So just like that, everything's raised about 4 feet. The water's raised about 4 feet. You can hear the blacksmith. You can see smoke billowing out of the blacksmith. You see him come out, and he's waiting. It's about up to his ribs. He's waiting. He looks over and says, "What in God is this?" And he starts to swim across to the Blackleaf Inn, and gets to the edge, pulls himself out. He's wet. His blacksmith fire pit and everything were doused and up. And you hear people murmuring all over the village and yelling. You hear people. You just hear it's chaos as suddenly everything is flooded.
Yeah, I'm going to the top. I was trying to get to the top of the area where the rooms are to get high ground, basically.
Yeah, and the people that were in the tavern that were eating as well, they follow you up the stairs. She leads you up the stairs to a back ladder that climbs out onto the roof. Everybody out onto the roof, and you start looking around the area. You see other people on roofs. You see some in their fishermen that are in their boats just sliding by. And it's
Dredgewater, I say to the lady or whatever.
She shakes her head. Nothing. I've never seen this before. We have flooding, but never this fast. This is crazy.
Something has happened. I don't think that the buildings here is going to withstand this much water without.
No, you can actually feel the Blackleaf Inn shifting. Right?
Yeah, I see that.
You can see one of the smaller buildings start to float and tear loose and float. You can see the blacksmiths, the top of the blacksmiths, start to crumble and cave in, and he stands holding his head. He can't believe it, and you see the ferryman. As you look over, you do not see the ferry. You don't see the boy. You don't see the wagon. You just see this rushing river. Obviously, they have been taken downriver. Yeah. The boy, the mule, the wagon, and the ferryman.
washed away, swept away all over the bank.
You start to see the back. You start to see the back stilts of the Golden Leaf Inn, which is the best. It's the most. It's the nicest, highest, best building. You start to see the stilts come loose, and the back end of the Gold Leaf Inn starts to crack and break into the river. Yeah. People are screaming. The people on the roof of the Black Leaf are holding on as it starts to drift downriver. The Black Leaf Inn that you're standing on breaks loose, starts to move and float a little bit.
Hold on to my girl.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to make a CV8 check, body. And you're going to add the girl. That makes it a CV9. You're going to hold the girl.
18.
Oh.
It was on a 2. It flipped to 18, man.
Yeah, so you grabbed. So as you grab the girl and take her under your arm, this thing caves, and you're now all of you fall through the flooring as it all breaks apart into the water, and you're spun away. You will suffer a wound for this, and the girl will suffer a wound. In about 45 minutes, you were washed north for 45 minutes in this dangerous. You're floated. You've got hold of her. You're holding on to pieces of the roof. You're tumbled and rolled and bob back up out of the water. You're beat to hell. You hit trees as this water's high enough, branches scraping. We will have to make a CV versus your body check to see if you lose any of your gear. CV of 4 to see if you lose any of your gear ripped loose from your body.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. 17.
Okay, so wow. So I'll give you a choice. You can lose the sword or the shield, or the girl.
Hey, I'm going to take 1d6.
Oh.
1, 2 sword.
Oh.
3, 4 shield. 5, 6 girl. All right.
Oh my gosh! Don't drop the girl, man.
I'm trying to hold on to all of it now.
Okay.
2.
Okay, so the sword, you feel the sword. It's on your side. You feel it pull and rip as the sword comes loose. Somewhere in this flood, your sword has been caught in right? Or you said sword was 1 and 2, right?
Yeah.
So about an hour later, you are floating slowly. Now you're just floating as the water recedes. In about 2 hours, you find yourself floating in the water. You can put a foot. You can feel your feet hit the ground, but you're still waist high. You're soaked. You're
Hold on to me, Jezebel. I'm trying to find some kind of tree, some kind of branch, anything to grab hold of and get to higher ground.
You have been pulled away from all the other people. You don't know where they ended up in this flood. You don't know how far you floated north. Let's make a mind check. Your reckoning. See if you can tell roughly from the middle of Dredgewater where you ended up.
Okay, I got a 2.
Okay, you know that you went northeast of Dredgewater. You think probably 5 miles.
Oh, jeez.
Right? And you haven't seen these people that were with you. They all fell in. They all went whatever direction. But you and the girl now are in waist-deep water, floating on this piece of roof. And it's gonna take a while for this water to recede. It's clearly you're in like a pond. And she's got a wound. You've got a wound. Yes, you can pull this. You kind of swim over with her and this, and get onto a raise of ground. There's a raise of ground where this muddy, bald, ugly hill rises out of the water, and sliding and slipping as you drag her and you up onto this and plop down.
Get your footing, girl. Get to the top of the rise.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Kind of pushing her up with a shield. You know what I mean? Make sure she don't slide in as I'm right behind her. And trying to grab the roots, all the bare displayed roots. I had to climb
so you both climb. You're sitting at the top in the mud, frozen or cold in the fall. And she's crying, sobbing. She's lost her pack. Her sack that she was carrying everything she owned in. And she doesn't know where you're at, but she's coughing up water. She is clearly wounded as well. You can see she's cut up pretty good. Her dress is wrecked. Her hair is matted. She's got blood in her cheek. She took a beating.
Yeah, and it's cold outside. What time of day is this?
It's about 3 in the afternoon.
all right, just get to high ground, girl, until the water recedes.
Mm-hmm.
And
that was the
try to wring out your clothing, you know, like with her
sure.
stuff, dry herself off a little bit.
Okay.
All right. There's no other recourse than to stay there until it dries up some.
Right.
So we're hungry.
She's clattering her teeth. All of your stuff is soaked. She looks at you and says, "Can't we make a fire or something?" She's cold. You can see she's got chill bumps.
Yeah, I'm breaking out all my stuff in my backpack, which I happen to retain. I slip it off my shoulder and throw it down, and look at my tinder box, see if any of that's harmed, destroyed, or whatever, and I'll try to break off any kind of wood.
Yep. Okay. From there's trees and things that are above the water line.
Yeah. Yep. To do that.
Okay.
And I'll say, I'll take everything out kind of to hang it and dry it up there while I'm striking this fire.
Okay.
Let it hang above the fire.
She huddles beside you, throwing whatever she could pick, like leaves and things in it, trying to fan it. Yep. And then it gets going. Oh, no, you're good. You can get it started. You just got to take the time and the effort. So the fire gets going. She's huddled over it, shaking as she starts to get warmer. It starts to build, and now it's going pretty good. Throughout the day, before dark, you're hearing people in the yelling off, echoing through the wilderness as they're yelling for friends and family. Once in a while, you might even hear cracking like a large tree coming down. You'll hear people just randomly out, and of course, every time somebody yells out or something, she looks up and she cries and says, "What happened?" She'll huddle by the fire.
Obviously, girls not too far off themselves. Everybody's in the same position here.
Mm-hmm.
They're your people, after all.
Mm-hmm.
You have to steel yourself. I'll do that while I'm trying to I'm trying to dry those blankets out and let them hang off the tree branches above the fire. When they get dry enough, I'm going to wrap her in them.
Sure.
In them.
Yep. Okay.
And I'm going to stay there until I hear, because I got the girl with me now, right, until I hear somebody at least closer, until either starvation or I see somebody.
Right.
But I'm not moving the spot.
Right. As night falls, you keep your fire going best you can. At some point, you'll run out of dry kindling on this rise. At some point, she's curled up with a blanket, sleeping peacefully. Do you want to sleep?
I will. At nighttime, whenever sleep overtakes me, I'd like to. I'm going to try to stay awake all night.
Okay.
Or at least.
Okay. So we're gonna have to make a body check for that. See if you can resist falling asleep. CV 0. It's not a difficulty.
A 1.
Okay. Ooh, nice. Not only are you awake, but you see torches out around, and you start seeing multiple torches, and then soon you see individuals in fishing boats and rowboats as they pass. They've got lanterns hung, and they're looking, and they're here. I'm making noise, And they see, yes, and they row over, and their little boat hits your rise. The girl's up, and she's standing with her blanket, shaking, and he says, "Come down. We're trying to find who we can to take back to Fledgling Town or Dredgewater." And she says, "Fledgling Town, that's where my brother's king." And she hustles down and jumps into their raft. And this is about 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning.
Okay. I'm getting everything, packing up while she's, you know what I mean, getting in there. Hold steady. I'll join you in a second. So I'm packing up everything, and I'll get into the boat with them. If Fledgling Town is where you're going, that's where we need to head ourselves.
I am from Dredgewater, but we've heard Fledgling Town was safe. It did not get flooded, so we will go there. And this boat's full, so he has no choice but to take. What's that?
Dredgewater's no more. I respond to him.
Mm-hmm.
So Fledgling Town will be the place we need to go.
Yep. He starts rowing. He looks over.
And start doing it with him,
And so by about 4 or 5 in the morning, you hit dry land. You hit where the water is receded enough that the boat just floats. Now he's like dragging the boat in mud, dry land, exhausted. And the girl looks at some point and says, "We're still a day or so hike from Fledgling Town." She's pleading with the man to leave his boat.
Oh, okay.
This guy, you're out. I mean, you're now. There's no more water. He's trying to drag his boat to Fledgling Town.
Oh, seems we've run aground.
But it's day. I mean, it's 6 in the morning, 7. You've paddled 4 hours in the flood waters. Now you're at least above the flood waters on solid ground.
Yeah. Come, girl. Let's get on the road. Mayhaps your brother has sent some detachment.
The old man sits in the mud. Now it's the shock of everything and all of his losses as he realizes he can't take his boat with him, and he sobs, sitting with his boat, realizing he'll have to just abandon it here in the middle of the country, right? But he sits there while you two head toward Fledgling Town. He just sits there.
No, here she'll remain until you can, regain her. And then I slip 5 coins in his hand.
He looks at you. Who are you, sir?
Just passing through. And
wow. He says, I will not forget this.
Thank you for your help.
Thank you for your coins. This may help me start again in Fledgling Town.
Okay, yeah.
Or maybe rebuild Dredgewater, as he looks forlornly in the direction of Dredgewater.
Yeah, to come along with us if Fledgling Town is indeed where your destination lies. Mm-hmm. But as for us, we head now.
Okay.
And then I turn around with the girl and start walking. All right.
Yeah. You walk for about 30 minutes, and you notice he's behind you about 30 minutes. You can see him in the distance about 100 yards or so. And he's following. He's just taking his time. He's left his boat finally, but he's following you. He's just not crowding. At 5, 6 in the evening, as darkness falls, she's exhausted. She's dragging behind you by about 20 yards. Darkness falls, and she's cried and whimpered. She's hungry. She needs water, and she says, "We're still another few hours from Fledgling Town. Can't we rest?"
You rest when we get there, girl. No time to stop there. Stop now.
Okay.
What for? 2 hours. Still yourself. You can do it. And I shake her shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Let's make a spirit check. Let's see if you bolster her, or she won't harass you the whole walk.
4.
Nice. She bucks up as you talk to her and you give her encouragement. She bucks up. She shuts up and she trudges. You can see she may indeed be royalty because there's a certain resolve and dignity about her.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. About 10 o'clock at night, in the dark, you start seeing campfires. As you get closer to Fledgling Town, you start seeing other individuals that survived the flood that have come, that were homesteaders or farmers, serfs that live not in Dredgewater but all around. They have come this far and they've set up makeshift camps. You start realizing you're in like a refugee flood survivor zone, right?
Exactly. Approach toward the gate. Is there a guard?
The gates are closed. There are palisade walls here. This is much higher quality than Hunsor, certainly than Dredgewater. You're looking at a legitimate town, city. Very, very nice wooden palisade walls. They stand 15 to 20 feet. There are lanterns lit and a guard at the palisade gates. As you approach,
I asked one of the refugees as I'm passing, who is king of this land?
King Braun. King Braun. He has become king after the death of his brother, Kron, and he is the king.
I turn around and smile to Jezebel. That's my girl.
Mm-hmm. Jezebel looks at you, eyes wide, but doesn't say anything.
Oh, wait a minute. Sue, sorry, I had that backwards.
The Braun is his uncle.
Yeah, okay.
Alfred is her brother.
Yes, I had that backwards in my head.
Yeah, that's right. Her eyes are like as big as saucers when she hears this. She kind of scoots up beside you.
And then we veer off and thread our way through the refugee camp.
And she says that this can't be true. Where is my brother? He must be around. He just hasn't. Oh, he hasn't done it yet. That's it.
But he said he would do it in 2 days' time. What's this flood? Bosch's attempt, but no, this couldn't be so. We shall wait. I shall ask. We shall find out. If indeed it does happen.
Can we eat? Can we sleep? It's late.
Can you keep your identity safe?
Mm-hmm.
I notice you go off tramping and proclaiming who you are. We can't do that here. All right.
My brother told me as much when we escaped.
Okay.
So I understand the danger.
Okay. I reach down and get some mud and stuff that's down there from all the thing, and I start wiping it all over her face.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Just a little guys, my dear.
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, she looks like shit from the flood, so.
Yeah, I know. Just
her hair's full of branches and shit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she don't need any more mud, but that's
don't just the highlighters. Just some mascara.
Wait, you missed the spot.
Yeah, I know. Just touching you up. Yeah. Anyway, go to the main gate, and we need entrance.
Who goes there? We do not open the gates after dark. What is your reason for entrance into Fledgling Town?
We seek. We come to Fledgling Town for to find respite from our travels. Yet we find a colony of refugees kept around it.
Yes, that is not good for us. That's not good news. Are you one of these refugees?
It's going to be hard for me to pull this off. But yeah, I buck up and I say, no, why would I refer to them as such? I'm a paying man, and I flash some coins in my hand. Let us through so we can gain. Okay,
so let's do.
I look like crap, so I look like a refugee.
Yeah. Let's do. Well, he can't see you that well. It's 10 o'clock at night. There's only torches. Gotcha. He can see that silver gleam though, that silver coin. So let's make a purse check, because in a way you're buying entrance.
Yeah.
Versus his CV. His CV is 1, and your purse is 2, I believe. You almost have 2 silver pieces worth of value now, right? Because you've collected almost 50 copper.
Well, I expended some too.
Oh, that's right. All right.
But anyway. Oh my God, a 20.
Yeah, he looks over the wall. He bends the torch down. Oh, you are but another one of these refugees. Get, be gone with you. In the morning, the door is open. Get, and something spills all over your face. He has pitched his urine bucket onto the heads of you and the girl.
And I bet
the girl screams. Oh, she's been drenched with warm urine.
Yeah, calm down, my dear. And whatever.
The door's open for all of you in the morning.
All right. I make my way out. I lead her out and try to find a patch of solitude grass.
Yep.
Beside some kind of little bit of water.
Okay.
She can wash off.
Okay. And you will both have to sleep for sure. It's been.
Yeah. I've been up all night before. Yeah. I passed out with that blanket.
Now she gets 1 wound back, and you get 1 wound back. So you're both, I think, back to full. You both suffered 1 wound in the flood.
Yeah.
Okay. The next morning, a lot of activity wakes you as people are packing up. People are waiting for the Palisade gates to open. Mass of people. 50 people. 50 people.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not hundreds or thousands. It's like 50. I mean, Dredgewater's not any kind of big hamlet. And sure enough, when those gates swing open, the guards come out. They push people back and out of the way. And they're kind of going through and hand picking people they think of value. And then some they yell at and bark and push away, tell them to be gone, and then they let some through. And as they get to you, we're going to make a prestige check with this girl. Yeah. Again, CB is just a 0, so there's no difficulty.
19.
Jiminy. So he comes to you, and you don't recognize this guy, but when he speaks to you, you recognize his voice from the night before, and he looks at you and he says, "Oh, be gone! You're not here. You're not dragging you and your orphan child in here." And he puts a hand on your chest as he waves other people by, and then he says, "Maybe come back tomorrow."
Okay, this time I'm gonna take a swing at this.
Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, jeez, Louise. Okay, got a 10.
Okay, that is.
I have a sword.
Yep. You don't have a sword.
No, I know, man.
And you don't have a mace? You gave that away.
Crazy.
You knock him flat on his butt. He sits down in the mud, kind of dazed.
You be wise to hold your tongue.
And then you can just step. You grab the girl and just step over him and walk in, right? As he's kind of sitting there dazed in the mud. You enter these gates and you see these refugees, the same as you. You know, they've all been here before. You may have been here before, but it's much nicer. You're dry land. It's cold this morning, but again, you start seeing these people head for certain directions, places, and people they may know. And as you enter, you see this city, a very nice city with big wooden walls. Every structure is wooden or stone.
Yeah.
Lots of fireplaces going in this morning. People out cooking. You hear hammering. Soldiers moving about. It's already alive at about 8 in the morning, 7 in the morning.
Okay. I'm going to the nearest inn.
Okay.
Okay. To get when I go in there, I want to procure a room quickly.
Yep.
So I walk in. Ding 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 ding. I need a room.
Yes.
I need now.
Yeah, that is 2 copper.
Okay,
2 copper now for one night, and that doesn't include food.
All right. Well, we're gonna need that too. How much for the whole package?
3. Is the girl with you?
Yes.
That's 4. Brats are always causing havoc.
Watch your mouth. Where can we clean up? In the room.
He waves to a basically another doorway with a curtain.
Yeah.
And he says, "There's wash tubs back there, and then the rooms are upstairs.
Let's go, girl. Let's
Yep.
get you clean.
So as you pass, are you going into these washrooms? As you come in, you see a handful of people in here bathing. They are pouring water into large tubs. You know, this is a community washroom, so I mean everybody's exposed. The girl wrinkles her nose. And she says, "I'm not gonna strip and bathe in front of these people."
You need to be clean, girl. Maybe we can get some water and take it to the room. If they have a basin up there, you can clean yourself from there.
Yes, I'd rather.
Yeah, I'll take one here.
Okay.
Wash lady.
Yeah, she comes over with a, and yeah, just pick a tub. And these tubs are.
Get a basin of water for the girl. You have. She needs to wash upstairs in the room.
Yeah, and the girl heads up, and the woman follows her out with an empty basin, but a bucket of water. And you realize these tubs. You know, you're bathing right after someone else has gotten in and out. So, I mean, these aren't freshwater tubs.
Bath water.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, I'll just...
climb in, clean up. You're bathing in somebody else's bathwater, but it's better than
somebody else's urine.
It builds your immunity. Builds your immunity, brother.
I'm covered in urine. I don't give a I'm not going to get picky now.
You actually feel a lot better, right? You clean up. The water at least is lukewarm, and that on a cold fall morning, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
You get dressed. You grab up all your gear. The place is starting to pick up as more and more refugees have stumbled in here, and they're you head out and upstairs to your little room. It's a little too. There's two small straw cots in this room. She is cleaned up and she's fast asleep. She obviously was very exhausted. Although she slept last night, she's fast asleep.
Looking around for any empty plates or whatever. They gave her any food.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, she's eating something. There's a plate there that has some breadcrumbs on it and some cheese.
I back out silently and shut the door, and I go back downstairs to get me a plate of food.
Yeah.
Find me an empty table or one that's, Yep.
It's busy in here because this is kind of the big city, but he slides a plate and you go find a spot and sit down. Make a spirit check, awareness check.
4.
Okay. As you eat quietly, listening to talk and murmurs, you actually hear a couple in the corner, nondescript, just peasants or laborers, workers, and they're talking about an attempt on the king's life, and that they have the traitors in custody, and they will be hung today at high noon. It'll be a great entertainment.
All right, I shake my head and finish up my meal. Hung today at noon. What's the hour?
Oh, it's about 10.
10?
Well, 9. Probably about 9. 3 hours.
The girl. She should sleep through this. I write a little note and slip it in there and say, stay here until I return.
Okay.
Underneath the door.
Okay.
And I head out. And I head down to, I know that there's probably conversation on the street. So I head out to the jail or where they're the stockades or wherever they're keeping them.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So, you might have to ask a few people on the street, where do they keep the prisoners? Where's the stockade?
I heard there's today.
And the people point and say, yes, they're building the gallows. Just go where you see the men banging and working. They're building gallows. They're going to hang him.
Hang him? Hang who?
They're going to hang the former king's son for trying to kill the new king, Bronn. That fool hired men and thought they brought him here and they handed him over. He is a fool.
Fool indeed. I heard he had left and to come back to this.
You heard? I know nothing about that. I just know that the fool thought that he had bought himself help to kill the king. He will hang.
Rumors travel and people say all kind of things.
He used to be the prince. It is a sad fall from his royal birth, but
good entertainment for the lot of us. And
yes.
Slap him on the shoulder.
Yeah, and he smiles.
Mm-hmm. And then I turn around and make my way toward the gallows or whatever.
Okay.
And are they being held in any kind of outdoor pens, or is it inside?
So as you approach, you see they're building the scaffolding and the hanging gallows. And as you walk up, you see there are 3 or 4 in stockades. Their heads and arms are in stockades. As you look at the 3 or 4 that are there, sure enough, on the end, in a stockade is Alfred, but also he is chained. His feet are chained, his arms are chained, and he's hung in the gallows. So they've got him attached via chain to this contraption too.
Okay, I walk to where he can, if he's aware. Mm-hmm. Alfred, off from him,
As you get closer and whisper to him, trying to get his attention, and he doesn't quite respond, you look over. That's when you realize he has been badly beaten. His eyes are, one eye is so badly beaten it's probably destroyed. He's missing teeth. You see dried blood. You see where they whipped him with a cat of nine tails probably 40 times. He's barely alive. They're going to hang a corpse is what it amounts to.
Gee whiz. Alfred.
He looks over, groans. When he realizes who you are, he tries to crack a smile. You see his mouth's all wrecked, his jaw's broken. Please tell me my sister is safe.
So your plan did not go off as planned. She's safe. Indeed, we returned because you promised to be on the throne.
As you can see, you see him wince in pain as he tries to talk with a broken jaw. I asked you to do only one thing. Take care of my sister and hunt the man named Jacobs. He did this to me.
Jacobs. And he works for the king?
No, he's the one I made the deal with, and he turned me over to the king. He is the bastard that took my silver to help me, and he handed me over.
Jacobs, from Dredgewater.
He doesn't know where he's from. He just had found him in the county of Fledgling, but he doesn't yet.
Okay.
And my sister, tell her I love her. It is not safe for her to remain in Fledgling County.
Is there anywhere I can take her?
He starts to answer, and his head drops. He rolls one more time to the left and looks up. I was all she had. And then he passes out, you think? Or maybe he's died? But
Okay. Okay, I reluctantly and then take a step back and just kind of get lost in the crowd and make my way to the smithy.
Okay. You make your way. Again, there's lots. Small ones and there's large ones. You hear them banging. Some are out front yelling for business. You kind of got your pick. What are you looking for?
Smithy, I need a weapon.
Are you going to one that's begging for business, or?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
The one that seems that they don't have
a weapon. Yes, come in. Come. And he turns. He's got a little anvil and he's got a little fire pit. He says, "Well, it'll take me a while to make you a weapon, but I have some wares."
You have readily on hand.
He teeters out a dagger and says, What think you this? Sets it down. Isn't that beautiful? It's only a matter of time before I'm the greatest blacksmith of all time. And then he pulls a sword and shows it to you, tilting it in the light, sets it down. I also have clubs, and I have a flail that I've worked long and hard on. He pulls his flail out, sets it down. What do you need?
Flail. I'll look at the flail.
Okay.
How much?
It is of good quality. What do you offer?
I'll be the judge of that, and I take it and look at it, swing it over my head a couple of times, and
it's fine. Is it not fine? It is my best work.
It is how you say. I'll offer you 20 copper.
It is a deal done. Yes. And he reaches out and grabs your hand, shakes it. 20 copper is a deal done.
Okay. Put the flail up.
It is a good flail, so it'll give you a +1 to your combat rating. So you are now back at a +2, I believe, plus your shield, which is, so you're 3 total, I think. Because you lost your 2. I think your sword was actually excellent, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah. You rolled it, man, not me.
I know, but I like playing to find out, you know?
Yes, me too. Okay, so you got a good flail. And again, with your purse of 2, that was a matter of just offering something, because this guy is low grade.
Oh, yeah, no, that's
so
fine.
you all you had to do was offer him something. Yep, no roll.
Okay. I take the flail. And I go back and get the girl.
Okay. Now it's about 11. It's about 11 o'clock. People are starting to talk openly about the hanging that's going to happen in an hour.
I wanted to expedite her out of the city before this stuff goes. Okay. I'll bring food up to the room.
Okay.
Give me food, and I bring it up to the room. Jezebel, eat this quick. We must leave. Your brother up here.
My brother. We need to find Alfred. His
brother up here is too far gone. We need to leave. If there's
what are you saying?
Your brother is to be executed today, within the hour.
You need to make a. Wow, you're gonna have to make a spirit check versus her CV. If you fail this, she'll bolt through the streets. She'll leave. She'll make a run for it.
Yeah. No, I'm saying this in the room.
I know, but she'll try to run, crying. Right.
17.
So she jumps up, her eyes well with tears, and she screams and she heads for the door. She beats you there. You failed the roll, so she beats you to the door. She's out the door. You can certainly chase her, but she's running down, into the tavern, maybe out into the street, into the crowds.
Right. And then I pick up the flail I had left or whatever, throw in my backpack in the room, and I pick up and I'm out the door.
Okay.
Trying to chase her down and find out where she is exactly. Okay?
You can follow her. She's ahead of you, but you can see her. I mean, she's not hard to follow, and you can follow her through the streets. You see her stop and yell and ask people. They're laughing. They're hanging the bastard right down there, and she's crying and she's making her way to the gallows.
To catch her, or whatever. To catch up with her.
Make a roll. She's a 2. You're a. Her CV is a 2.
15. Okay. She's weak. She's small enough to weed through that crowd that
Yep. And she comes to the gallows and she sees they're finished. They're just finishing the knot, and she looks about again, crying, and then she starts screaming, "Alfred!" She drops to her knees, and at some point she looks over and sees him in the stocks and crawling on as everybody huddles around, laughing and watching. Some people are pushing her and kicking her, and she's crawling on her knees over to Alfred.
Yeah.
And once they realize that she is, you watch in horror as when they realize that she cares for him, they start pelting her with potatoes, and they're throwing stones at her and pushing her
I'm running up to her and kind of blocking it with my body and picking her up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go, girl. Let us go.
Yeah.
Let us go. It'll be all right. Let's get out of here.
So she cries and screams. Alfred never responded. He's probably dead in the gallows. Never responds to her. You drag her off through the crowds as they spit and kick and curse.
I'm whispering to him, he's already gone, even if it's a lie. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's already gone.
And she ultimately, as you're carrying her, she turns and holds you as much as you're holding her as you race through the city. I don't know how far you want to go as you approach the palisade, the gates out of Fledgling Town.
Yeah, I definitely want to get her out of here.
Okay. And that is where the curtain will fold on our first play test.
Good.
Awesome. How'd that go?
Good, man. I mean, it was natural.
Yeah.
Like we always do, and it facilitates it. I know it'll help us understand when. I think that's what we're doing mainly is to determine when to roll, but it's not necessarily this big.
I only ask for a roll if it's a challenge, and again, they have CV scores, so there's going to have to be some challenges.
And it's automatically intuitive too when we're.
So I may have I try to ask only when it's in jeopardy or in doubt, but ultimately we gotta have them when there's certain things on the line. Camping, traveling is one of those. All you have to do is get that roll. Camping's pretty easy, but again, like you had a bad one. But then you nailed a one, which I put in front of you, the clothes and the copper pieces, so you nailed a critical success, and that led to this bundle of stuff that was left by the river. Yeah. I mean, it's incredibly intuitive.
Oh, it's narrative play, period. Mm-hmm. With just little prompts, and you don't stop to do the math.
Yep.
You ain't got to break out of a calculator or anything. It's simple. Immediately, I know. Mm-hmm. To compare those numbers and see who has the edge.
And so I rolled before session start. My personal first seed was 11, which was the stranger arrives. And right before we started the session, I decided that stranger will be the rightful king to Fledgling Town. So I just made that up right as we started the session. Stranger arrives is literally stranger arrives is all it says, and I made him the rightful king to Fledgling Town. On the fly with his sister, right? You rolled to start though. You rolled to start Smithy. The Smithy needs someone to go to Hansor. That's it. So I said the Smithy needs iron bars and the nails, right?
Yeah.
And then let's see. Oh, then we rolled the 2. Flood hits Dredge River. And 2 and 12 are literally world-changing events. So that flood basically destroys Dredgewater. Right?
Yeah.
So if this was a campaign, there is no more Dredgewater, right? And then, of course, 12 was people of Dredge are getting sick. So that would have been, again, another catastrophic event, but it would have been like a plague on Dredgewater. Yeah. But I rolled an 11, you rolled the 9, and then I rolled a 2. So that whole 3 hours, that whole 2.5 hours was just 3 seeds. And then the random event was the night. The night on the road was a random event when you traveled.
Yeah.
So I rolled the random event was the night. Yep. So there were only 4 things that were random in this.
Yeah.
I mean,
the dialogue, the narrative back and forth is what really, like even at the start, how true was that he was the rightful king? He's full of crap. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Smelling like he crawled out of a liquor bottle.
Well,
whatever.
I had already decided there has to be some truth, so I decided he is. But then I got to find a way to. I got to find a way. Well, that's true, but what does that mean? But purposely, I made him a doubtful king. So you have to debate: is he real or is he?
Oh yeah, but that's great because even my character's perception, my perception of the world that you're displaying for me.
Yeah,
I have to work within those confines. So you stay in character. So I'm similar. He's not worthy of being whatever because I've got a little bit of haughtiness about my character,
Yeah.
Like I stated, I'm checking for mud when I'm walking through these planks. I'm not from this. Who would in the rightful mind would stay here?
Right.
Even up the gold leaf. I'm staying at that black leaf. Yeah. I didn't see this. I would went there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Kids would give me a room.
Yeah, because the gold leaf is the.
So he's a little bit snooty. He's a sellsword, but he's similar like.
Yeah, he's a higher born sellsword, right?
Yeah, it's like that one guy from the Caribbean that wanted to become a pirate and then got hung in Charleston down there. What is his name? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
He left his plantation and got. So I've got some kind of concept of this dude doing that, you know.
Well, I think it's number one, a great game. I had a blast.
Yeah,
and I think the system worked perfectly. The system did exactly what we were designing it to do. I thought the dice rolls were easy to activate. I would just tell you it's a CB2, CB0, CB6, whatever.
You can stay in character and in the narrative and just talk about what's going on and have dialogue back and forth with more people even.
Mm-hmm. How did you feel about the use of the purse to acquire stuff, not just paying for it?
I think we have to work on the fact of because we are, whether or not we're doing the purse anywhere, we are paying for stuff. You know what I mean? That shifts in copper.
You don't have to, but I did put rules in the game for copper pieces. Have you read that? Did you read that part yet?
Well, actually, I need to reread it. There's a lot, but I ran out of ink on that.
Right, because the silver. That was the part that I hadn't gotten into the book yet, and this morning I added that. But it's silver pieces are obviously very rare, and they make you rich. But copper is what happens on a natural day-to-day basis still. So we can still use copper for negotiating tools or for minor transactions. I thought it worked great the way we were doing it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Like this guy, all you would have had to do, because your purse rating was higher than his whole thing, so you could have just said, "I'll pay you whatever for that flail," and he would have done the deal because your purse rating was that high. So I normally ask for the purse rating when it's it's a pretty hefty challenge.
No, it worked beautifully. And that's what it's there for, is when you're trying to get a good or an excellent item.
Yeah, the gist of this.
I got that excellent sword and then lost it.
Yeah.
I mean, those are really rare.
Yeah.
And you can only do that like once per city. And
right.
So that made it like, oh my gosh,
an excellent sword is 5 silver in the rules, or a CV5 roll, which is what you had to do to get it.
Yeah, that's insane.
And so
to me.
that's that. And I think silver, a nobleman earns about 3 silver a year. So an excellent sword is almost 2 years worth of a nobleman's wages.
Man, that was like losing,
a
bunch of money.
Mm-hmm.
So
so like a plate mail and a horse. Woo, that's a lot of silver, right?
Yeah, that's what
which is why we need the purse rating, because it lets you negotiate when you don't have just silver, right? The purse rating just lets you barter. It gives you kind of a sense that everything's on a barter system. This isn't Walmart where you have to pay whatever the ticket says, right? I mean, it's one of my biggest issues with all role-playing games is everything has a set price, and it's like you go shopping. It's nonsense. I prefer a more flexible, realistic barter system in which you might talk this guy into the sword for only 3 silver, but down the road,
depends on how far up he is and what your prestige is, just whatever.
Yep.
And that's what those numbers are there for, so you can compare.
Yep.
And it just tilts the balance on whatever you roll. So it's really simple, intuitive. I loved going after that and getting that sword, even if I lost it. Because I'm like, what the crap? You know what that would make me do? I'm going to be looking for that sword, too.
Going to go back.
That's going to be a quest to try to find where that sucker got washed away. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Buried.
Yeah. I mean, because, that's a major value. But just think about it. Dredgewater's been wiped out of the game now. So think of all the looters that will be around Dredgewater.
Yeah, somebody be pilfering that sword. What the crap?
So, I mean, because we rolled a random seed that was tragic, Dredgewater now is, in our world, in our campaign game, Dredgewater now becomes a place where there's looters and there's survivors trying to rebuild. So now our next session.
Well, Dredgewater is the perfect jump-off point.
Yeah, it is.
To start.
Yeah.
In any which direction you want to go.
Yep.
So, even saying I was passing through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you guys say that a lot, especially if you got a high prestige.
Yep.
Because nobody with high prestige.
Yeah, no nobleman's hanging out in Dredgewater, because the only nobleman in Dredgewater is the guy who owns the land. That's Washburn.
Yeah, and like you're saying, when you start the game, you can either start with like 0 repute points or 3, which is kind of like levels 3. Yeah.
So you could have put all your points in prestige, and you would have basically been a gentry freeman.
And that would have been somebody passing through, and that's what I felt like doing. Where I said, "Well, I got 1 in prestige, so I'm kind of passing through here." It would be on my way to somewhere else. But if I was to start at 0, Dredgewater is a perfect.
Yeah, you're a peasant. Yep. Yeah. 1, you're not a freeman at 1. You're a merchant. I mean, a professional. You were a professional. Yeah. Right. So somewhere out there in the world, you do have a lord that you are a vassal, right? To freemen normally weren't allowed to just leave. They become right. So you probably have a vassal somewhere that you would have been, in a way, you owed allegiance to. But it doesn't matter.
I mean, I could be erased too, as far as being, outcast or something.
Yeah, you could have been from Dredgewater because you're just a professional. You could have been the doctor at Dredgewater, or the right,
well,
or a mercenary.
Great, because what you just said, like doctor, You can literally be anything you want to in this. Go any direction, and you just narrate what you're trying to do based off the attributes. So it gives a lot of freedom to personal interpretation of character and how you want to interact within that world. In the setting. So I mean,
you picked a profession. You picked sellsword, so that's legit. But you could have been from Edgewater and be a sellsword. Yeah,
I did that. I didn't want to wuss out or anything and not pick something more, left field, but I picked something more common, what I mean? Just to kind of exercise that. But I do want to play it where, I'm something else. And to open that door, that window to possibility. Yeah. All for that, man.
So before I stop the recording, any more we want to talk about our test play? Anything that we should fix? Anything that you think is a problem?
It's not really problematic. I mean, we've been changing some of the language. I think we're working on it, and it's going at a good clip the way we've been working on it, and it's developing really rapidly. Play sessions and like this, maybe you can get on the other side of it, and I can GM it and see from that perspective. It'll give us two perspectives. And I'd love to see other people play it too and get their perspective.
Well, hopefully, I think we can. I think Todd and Donnie and you were going to play test. So at some point we'll do a full 3-person play test.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
When is that going to happen?
I got to pick a date. I go back to work full time next week, so I'm going to have to pick times now. Probably a Saturday night.
Yeah. Anytime you want to do that, I'd love to see us three doing that.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I would certainly offer the Role Play Cafe crew on Sunday a chance to play test it with us at some point, but.
Yeah, it's intuitive. I mean, I don't really see. I guess the only thing that feels like you really got to jump in there and narrate, and there's a freedom to it. But I mean, people have to open up to that and just do it.
Right.
So,
how did you feel that worked? Did you feel like I did too much narration? Did it feel like I was back enough?
No. I mean, you got to. This is the first time we did some naive narrator play before.
Oh yeah, but
right now we're thinking in the back of our mind about the system interfacing with a naive narrator. So for a first test, I mean, you got to admit this is not bad at all.
Oh, I loved it,
especially the way it just flows. But in the back of your mind, you can't fully be free because sometimes you're thinking, is this appropriate? Is that? But it's really all intuitive because a lot of times you're just overthinking for no really good reason.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah. This
was again for me perfect as a GM in the naive narrator seat who wants to be informed by the context we built, the world setting we built, and then informed by the roles, and then let players narrate, declare actions, take actions, and this is the tip of quality for me as a GM as far as what I like to do.
No, I agree.
And I think the dice are a lot more. It's a single die roll, but the depth. It's varied in how your attributes and what I ask you to challenge, your contest value, creates a very varied scale that creates a depth, although it's a very simple die check, right?
Yeah, and you just roll. It just prompts
narrative.
It's almost don't blink, because you've already rolled the dice.
But I mean, look at I'll have to watch it back, but like the fist fight. You narrated and rolled, and if it was a wound against you, I would narrate the pop against you. If you won it, you narrated the punch against him, and if you won it, you narrated what happened. If you lost it, I narrated what happened.
Yeah.
It's just back and forth.
Go, he hit me, and it's, I don't know, man. I mean, there's not any kind of complexity on that end. Mm-hmm. It's just it has to be filled with the narrative sport, which is what we're doing here. Mm-hmm. We're just passing the narrative torch back and forth.
Well, we're role playing.
Yeah.
So we're role playing with game elements as opposed to gaming as avatars.
Well, as far as the naive narrator, how do you feel about this compared to the AIA?
This is much more intuitive because so a naive narrator, I'm still thinking about rolling against you. I'm always rolling the opposite. Remember, it's I roll, you roll, I roll, you roll. I'm making rolls to see if you achieve something without asking you to do it. There are certain elements to that simple one-page rule system. It's minimalist role-playing. The irony is it's called a minimalist role-playing game. It's actually a maximist role-playing game. It's a minimalist game. But the point is, there's still more stuff that's traditional there.
Still more procedures.
But this, all I say is, hey, you want to do what? You're doing what? You're trying to convince the girl to stay here? Okay, make a prestige check against her.
Little moments like that, and especially
and I don't even if the more we play together, using the terms and things, I wouldn't even have to say make a CB check. I would just, you would say what you're saying, and I would just cue you that, right? I wouldn't even have to say what the number is. I would just say prestige, and you would roll and tell me a number, and I'd say whether it was good or not, right? I mean, we could do this.
Mm-hmm. It's a glance at somebody, or just roll, and it's just a prompt to see which direction the narrative takes.
Yep.
And you branch off of that. You just got to be ready at the.
And it's brilliant because, like, you felt that campfire check, and I said, "Man, this is a critical error. What does that look like? He just has a bad night's sleep? Hell no, this is a critical error." You happen to camp right in front of a Bobcat's.
I mean, I could have been sleeping right underneath a big hornet nest or something that dropped down on me.
And then you nail up. And so what I'm loving about it is it does literally allow us to flow right into the next phase, whether it's a pass or a fail. And then, of course, if it's critical, it instantly gives us that freedom to give this positive thing. Right?
I mean, if you watch this back, there are certain moments in there that'll make you smile or make you realize the narrative. Dialogue back and forth. Mm-hmm. Like when I got on me with the what is his name, Dar. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Go take over there, and then I'm arguing and I'm bantering with the guy in there that thinks it's king. It's full of crap. I got to go up here. You know what I mean? Then I have to go across the little ferry with this guy that's cranking, and I'm like, I already paid him his money. I'm just standing up there.
Right.
I mean, that is imagery, and that's what's striking. Mm-hmm. You get to vote and voice this in play. Mm-hmm. More so to a degree that isn't normally done.
That's right. Well, and we're starting to get a feel from the conversation, from the description of your actions, from what you do. So not only what you do, what you describe your characters doing, and the things you say to people, they're telling us who your character is.
Yeah.
Just like reading a book or watching a film.
Experience the character viscerally in the moment, other than looking at a static sheet.
Yeah, and saying my background says I'm this.
Now you get to act that character out. You get to represent him as the character.
Right.
So I'm sitting here. My attention is not focused on mechanics. It's focused on how representation of this character. Mm-hmm. Who is he? And I'm discovering who he is as I play, and that's the joy of it. Mm-hmm. And
that's going to be affected by every encounter you have, whether it's a violent encounter or a verbal encounter or a device encounter or a flood encounter, or
it's just the freedom to explore that where other was done, more like roadblocks. Mm-hmm. It hinders it. Mm-hmm. Like me, when I approach that guy and you say he's there, who is this fop standing in the middle of a thing? It's all armored up. He's obviously a knight. You know what I mean? He's going to take me out. I don't really feel like it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. Oh my God, I'm dealing with it because I've got a little cockiness as the character.
Right. Well, because you won. By the way, you won that prestige, but he was a knight, so he wasn't going to just stand aside and let you walk through. So, but he decided he would give you a non-lethal butt kicking. So you won. Yeah. You actually won the prestige, but there's no way this knight he's not going to kill you, but he's gonna teach you a lesson. So it went from a violent encounter to a lesson because you won. You actually won the prestige.
You thought about his position and his status and how somebody like that would be affected against the prestige roll being not in their favor.
Right.
How would they respond? All that prestige roll does is inform the situation and the players and NPCs involved in it about what's going down at the moment, how they're reacting.
Right.
It gives you a skill to react off of.
And he was willing to take your money, or you would have to beat him in a duel. And then when you said, I'm not giving you money and I dare you to kill me, you won that prestige, so to speak. And he said, fine, I won't kill you, but I'm going to beat you up. I'm going to teach you a lesson to take your money anyway. And,
I know, but when you were narrating him being so haughty and like he was hitting me or even 3 times in a row before I finally got him with an uppercut and hit him 3 times in a row and let him out. And what am I going to do? I'm ticked off now. So I just grabbed my stuff walk on.
Right.
I was going to feel for him. I'm like, I ain't got time for this idiot.
Right.
And then walk.
Right.
Walk on.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then it informs again. So what happens with that random encounter? It informs us later when you happen to say in Hansor, what about that knucklehead knight? And people are like, oh yeah, that's Sir Georgie. He's crazy.
I know. And then my character gets kind of embarrassed. Like, I don't even want to have to explain this crap to them. What do I need? You know what I mean? Even taking that food for the bobcat.
But meanwhile, it develops this seed of who is this guy? Where's he up to? And why does he feel the way? So I mean, some people would actually go, I want to go talk to that guy. I want to find out what the hell his problem is. There are some people who would have made that the quest.
I know. That's what's so interesting about the narrative. Like I said, I'm setting that plate down. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, the bobcat's like that. And I'm backing up, and I'm just pushing that plate toward it.
Right.
Because it's me to the next movement. Because actually,
it is play to. It is take action. It is play to find out, and we don't have any plans at all. Right. None at all. We have to have context. We have to know Dredgewater. We have to know who your character is. We have to know something about the world. But then I roll Dredgewater flooded.
I know, but he sent me out there. I had to. Mm-hmm. You know how I would have been taking about money if old boy would have beat me? Mm-hmm. So I'm irked at that.
Yeah.
And I get there, and then they're laughing like, oh, you didn't think of that? How are you going to carry it back? I'm like, what the crap? I got to go away from before y'all tick me off. I've already been ticked off on the road twice.
Right.
So I get the boy. He's taking me back. So it all just kind of naturally flows. That's what the beauty of the narrative system.
It is.
It just.
But not only that, everything that led up to the flood, I literally randomly roll late in the game. You had already developed a relationship with a girl. Now you've got something at stake to save the girl.
Yeah.
And let me explain. There are knuckleheads out there, gamers, who will write a module, will write a preparation, and want you to have this story and make you do it in a railroad when you don't want it. I'm saying, you don't have to railroad people. Just play. It'll all happen naturally. But
I wouldn't
have context.
I wouldn't adhere to that guy for whatever. No. He could have been king. Let him go on.
Yeah.
He's a freaking fool.
Right.
Is my character's point of view.
Right.
Until I met the girl and I said.
But imagine if this was a module I'd written and I wanted you to help the king. And you don't want to help the king. That's when people get frustrated. Damn it, do my module. I wrote you're going to help the guy get his king thing back.
Yeah.
I have nothing invested in it. I have nothing invested in it. You might have decided, holy shit, I want to help this guy. I can become his man-at-arms. Or you could say, get out of here. You're a fool, which is what you did.
Yeah, well, I mean, that lets me explore who that character is and have liberty of doing that. Otherwise, I have to clip my character off and just have him be a static thing if I'm following a module.
That's right. Well, or like I said, the GM gets angry when the players aren't invested in this story that you've prepared for him.
You think I'm gonna rescue that guy? He's already been caught beat the crap out of. Yeah. He's in the stocks, so an hour or two away from that.
The number one lesson I would have for all GMs is quit preparing shit.
Yeah, and just play. But see, that's what it's doing. It's allowed us to play off of what we just did.
And you are going to decide how valuable that one character is to you. He's worth paying attention to, or he's a jackass. You decide that, not me.
Yeah.
You decide that the girl is worth protecting.
This jackass is going to take his little sister back to a town to do this with some full errands crap.
Yeah, but see, you decided that, not me.
Yeah. See, that was even a ruse to say I'll take her with me, and then I got the woman to look at it. And then I said, I got to run this. I'll come back, and maybe if he takes it, we will. But I was just doing that I was maybe thinking maybe the lady, if they would kind of make some bond, maybe she would keep her, develop some kind of a thing. So my character had the liberty.
Do you know when I decided that Alfred was going to be executed? When at 2 a.m, when you told the guards you wanted into town, and you had a critical error, and he told you to get lost and pitched his urine over your head. That I used that role to decide the fate of the king.
Oh, really?
I said, okay, he's done. Yeah. So literally until you failed that role, I wasn't certain what happened to Alfred. Because it's not written. There is no rules.
There is no rules. You just have to play off.
But when you failed that, I said, well, what's worse than, pitching urine in your face sucks, but it's not really a critical failure. What's a critical failure? It kind of decided the fate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
But you get to play off of those. Maybe some. Well, no, that was appropriate. That was appropriate when you brought it up, and just because it came up in the narrative.
When I brought what up? Which one?
No, I mean as far as the guard doing that, or when I
rolled. Oh, but you prompted that by saying I want to ask the guard to let us in.
That's what I mean. That's why I stopped. I was going to say maybe it needs to be rolled randomly, but no, the narrative is already prompting it.
Well, you did roll. You did roll randomly, and you failed critically.
Oh yeah. I'm saying as far as me getting in, but I'm saying that was part of the thing.
Right.
So you could easily branch off.
Oh yeah.
And of that narrative and inform other things.
Right. Right. Oh God, yeah.
Literally, it's how you play. It's how you interact with people.
Yep.
What you play. It gives you the freedom of doing that. I don't have to feel like I'm locked into a static, example of who my character is.
Well, in this system, along with Naive Narrator, I am utterly free to pay total attention to the players.
Yeah, man, that was just.
I don't have to look and go. I'm sorry. What did you say? I was looking up. How to use paralysis for the ghouls. You know what I mean?
I know.
I'm able to sit right here and pay total attention to you, and interact with you, and then it's a simple. Oh, you're gonna have to beat their CV, which is a 3 or 2, whatever. I do have their CVs written down.
Now, how easy was that for you? I mean, probably when I was rolling, you knew
CV.
No, I mean, just the quick calculation in your head.
Oh, it's easy because I had your character in front of me. Remember, I wrote all your stuff down, so I already knew that. So hers, like the girl, I made her CV a 2, period. So she was a 2, and I used the actual CV chart in our book. So I didn't need to pre-make her. I didn't. Matter of fact, none of the characters you met outside of Dredgewater had a CV written down. I used the list in the book. This guy's easy. This guy's hard. This guy's tough. So I used our difficulty CV to give her a 2. To set the who else? There was the other blacksmith in.
That's my point. You don't.
So I didn't have to write. I didn't have to create a blacksmith with a whole lot of data. I just said this blacksmith in this town is a whatever 4.
And then you get to narrate how this blacksmith responds to me, what he does, why his CV is that way, whether he's arrogant or whether he's just a tightwad or whether he's really.
And because all they are is a difficulty number.
Yeah.
Is this blacksmith an elite blacksmith, or is he an apprentice? Is he successful, or is he
the blacksmith? And even after you describe him, go, now this guy's a boop. And when I roll, it's simple as a roll, and the math is automatically there in my head. In fact, you don't even need to tell me what their CV is.
Right.
I just tell you what it is, and that's the beauty of it. It's not complex at all.
And everything in the game works that way: combat, bartering, intimidation, reading a scroll, deciphering a puzzle. Everything is that.
Yeah, and it's all you have to know. You don't have to break it apart. I mean, when we're doing checks on the purse, it's the same thing.
And because it's narrative, I don't care how far the knight is from you when the fight starts. I narrate that he throws his gloves down, takes his helmet off, puts his sword on the ground, and he charges you swinging a fist. I don't care if he's 10 feet from you or 20 feet from you.
And then you roll that dice to see what happens.
Yeah.
Either he clocked you or he missed, and you can just.
And then I'll narrate again, and we'll roll again, or you narrate again.
Well, I said, I bull rushed him and knocked him to the ground on top of him. I had liberty to say what I was doing. I didn't have to say I need to roll for bull rush, which is what I was pointing out.
Yeah. All we needed to know was who's winning the fight. We don't need to know how you work the game to win the fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? We're not working the game to win the fight. We're playing the game to see who wins the fight.
Lever the mechanics to be in your favor to win that fight.
Yeah, we're playing to find out who wins the fight.
Yeah.
You're not playing to win the fight. The best chance you have of winning the fight is don't piss off this knight.
Yeah, I'm totally focused. Well, I kind of knew that in the first place. He was armored up. I knew it was whatever. But for some reason, in that character's mindset that I was like, I ain't got time for this crap.
Right.
No.
But you did have silver and copper, so you could have paid something, right? You could have done a prestige roll and given him. But
he was doing a personal insult.
Yes, he was.
To my snooty. I'm a little bit snooty myself. So you're gonna be lying to me, claiming you're a knight and holier is it thou, and then
your character didn't believe anybody. Didn't believe that guy was the king. Didn't believe that the knight was a knight. But you did believe the little girl was a princess.
I know, just from her prestige, the way she held herself, and the way she did whatever, and the way she looked. Mm-hmm. But see, it's like I can trust her more because I can throw her further.
Yep.
It's one
because she can't. She's not a threat to you.
Yeah, exactly.
She's a little girl. She's not a threat.
It's like almost I despise that. I'm even saying I despise the character despise. Mm-hmm. That's how you can sink into the narration. You're playing, you start feeling like in this guy's headspace.
Yeah,
and you're there whenever you're reacting to stuff that's happening to him.
Bottom line is, as a GM, it's the only way I want to play, and as a player, I want to get more of it as a player. But as a GM, boy, it's pretty much my future. Naive narrator.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, I know. Now it's just I want the games that get the heck out of the way, like the simple games or something that we're designing. I mean, literally, we're designing a game to make this thing work at its absolute best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, and you could go from one to the next, like roll that. I mean, from moment to moment, and moments that matter.
Mm-hmm.
And everything's gonna be fine, man. You don't have to trick and go along even hexes.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, even your sword. I just said, listen, you can lose this, or lose the girl, and you chose to find out randomly. But you could have said, unfortunately, I let the girl go. You could have said, okay, I'll throw out my shield. Okay. But I gave you a choice, and you chose to make it random. But losing your sword is a big deal.
But see, to me, my character, because he had got some attachment to the girl and felt responsibility and words.
But what if you had rolled a 4 or 5? I mean, a 5 or 6, you would have lost the girl in the flood.
I would have, but I mean, to me, there's things that happen in your life that's beyond your control.
That's it, bingo.
So that's what I wanted to react.
That's what I said.
I want to see how this character is going to react, for situations. Because when I'm sitting there, I say, "What's going to happen?" Mm-hmm. Because if you just said, "What do you want to lose?" and I can pick, I'd say, "I'll lose the buckler. Mm-hmm. It's the least worth, right?"
Yeah.
For my situation, because I'm telling you right now, whether it was apparent or not, he's going to value people who have integrity.
Sure, of course.
Because he has this ideal, even though he's a sellsword, he's doing whatever. Right. He's a cherry picking sellsword. So whenever he gets to do this, do that. So he's looking at the girl and he's looking at this foolhardy boy, this king that wants to go back and do this.
Yeah.
He's like, but he's a little bit almost neutral, chaotic in it. Like you're stupid for doing that. Yeah. So I mean, it's funny that I know I'm trying to relate this in maybe harken back to some kind of an old, like I said, neutral or whatever. Mm-hmm. But really, it's the experience that you're having inside that character's headspace that informs you how he's going to react to the world around him. And you do have that cautiousness. Like when I'm sitting there going that night, he's probably going to kill me. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, there's moments when something just ticks you off or you think something cool.
Yeah. Well, and the irony is you still made the roll. You still succeeded the roll, but the knight wasn't going to just stand aside and say, go ahead. He couldn't. But it became a non-lethal combat. Oh,
yeah. But, I mean, if I would have failed it, he would have went straight after me.
Yeah. If you'd have failed it, he would have demanded payment or you're going to sword fight me, so to speak. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But that's the point. You don't even have to outline that. It's just like make this roll. If there's been times when I've played other games, I've told people, if you fail, this will happen. So know the consequences. But you don't even have to know the consequences, right? How I handled it should have told you the consequences where you obviously succeeded, but he's not going to kill you. He's going to beat you up.
You don't have to quantify everything. When a lot of it's just intuitive play.
But think about this. We played for 3 hours, and you were just running an errand to pick up iron bars and nails.
Yeah.
And think of that. You ended up in a flood. You ended up meeting this king with his sister, and you ended up dragging her around. How amazing. If you tried to write this in a module, no way.
See, I wasn't going to be as foolish as that king. I was going to leave the girl in a safe place.
Yeah.
But I had to take that thing because I'd given my word to that.
Yeah.
To Dawn.
And I didn't know. I had no idea you wouldn't say, yeah, I'll join you. Let's go. I didn't know you wouldn't. I didn't know at 2 a.m. when he came to rouse the girl and said, we got to go, that you wouldn't have said, wait a second, I can't let you. I'll go with you. I did not know. I did know that there were 6 guys that he had cut a deal with.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But every character I'm playing with is like a different headspace,
Yeah.
and they react differently to the world.
I didn't know how you'd respond to the king's men smacking the old man around and saying, just get us across the river. We're not paying you anything.
But in his mind, he's thinking
Mm-hmm.
there's bees, and it puts a bad sight.
Yep.
I don't respect that king because he can't control his men now as much as I would have.
Right.
Unless somebody needs. If I ever run into him again.
Yeah. Well, see, they weren't knights; they were soldiers. Now, the king's knights would hopefully behave honorably, but these guys were just the king's soldiers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So knights, I would hope, would have acted honorably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, nobody's going to do anything.
Yeah.
Insane.
And I mean, what's the question there, right? What's the question?
Yeah, it's 3 nights.
Why are the king's soldiers from London all the way out here?
Oh, always.
That's a 10-day journey, and they're all the way out here. What's up?
Yeah, I know. They could be going to that place. And
so all of these little things could have prompted you into another adventure.
But see, that's what I'm saying. I got to get back.
Don't have to write a thing.
I was thinking about, but I was literally thinking about when I left there, and I was standing on that shore a little bit before I turned on. I just shook my head because I'm not going to be foolhardy enough to get in a fight with 3 soldiers. Let those young jackasses go off and do whatever we want to. 7 a.m. And then I say, I hope that they don't go in there and do anything in that Black Inn and find out who she is.
Right.
And then become with some political intrigue and they take it back to the king or whatever. So that moment when I paused before I turn around, and it's funny because this is what was going on in my head. I had to take a chance on it. But that's why I said I need to get back.
Yeah.
As quick as possible. I'd say that to Billy, or we got to get a move on.
Right.
I didn't stay in the town. But that's why I paused and I said, no, I'm going to try to get this excellent sword because I'm not going to get around here that often.
Right. Right.
But
I love it. I mean, I think our world setup works. I think our economy system works. I think our ratings work. I think our die mechanic is genius. As far as narrative play with in-character immersive play.
Man, that's all you need. If somebody can narratively play, just one prompt to say what happens. It's just a cue to say what happens and where you go next.
Yep.
So
and you can do, say, act, and then and there'll be times where you got to prove it. Times the dice are going to be called to prove it, right? Or like the knight, the encounter with the knight. You know, you gotta win this to avoid it being a fight to the death, and you did.
Yeah. Oh, right. I know. And that's what's brilliant about it. Even buying it, it's all the same thing. But you're taking a chance on anything. If you can't, it gives you the liberty that's like, well, you can prepare a little bit better. Or maybe in your brain, man, whether or not there's going to be so close of, if you know you got it, if you get enough gear and enough talent to do something, it's like, it's weird because inside of you, you feel like, I got this. And then there's moments when you go, I don't know if I got this. And that's when you roll.
Right.
You know, and you go, oh crap, they just went sideways and I've gotta, scramble.
That's right. Well, and that's why also the ratings matter, because like your purse rating was high enough that all you had to do was offer anything and that guy gave you the flail.
Yeah.
Because he was desperate for any amount of money. So he gave up that flail because I just compared your purse rating to his CV rating, and no matter what, you just had to offer him something, and he would have taken it.
Yeah,
right.
But I mean, in a way, generally, one thing we might need to consider is my character is more generous. Like he gave that 5, and he gave this like that. Even to the ferryman, that's to almost spread prestige. You know, being
right. Well, that's why when you paid the old man that was pulling the rowboat. And he was heartbroken. He lost everything. He can't even save his boat. And you gave him 5 coins. He said, "What is your name?" And you said, "Don't worry about it." That I would have actually given you a repute point if you would have said, "My name is Amir," I would have actually given you an experience point. And that experience point can be spent by another attribute score.
But that didn't occur to me at the time. I was wanting to be more.
There are moments where, you're not going to just be able to do that. But that was a moment where it would have, guy would have told everybody what you did for him.
Yeah. And he can only describe so much as far as visually or whatever.
So. Yeah. And when he said, "What is your name?" and you said, "No, don't worry about it. Just, And I thought, dang, Dale just missed the chance to score a point.
Got it in the foot.
Now, like for instance, this session.
But see, it's funny that those moments can come up in game and be so suddenly.
And for instance, I would not give you a repute point for this session, but I would have given you a repute point for that in total of the session. So like now, you're going to have to, the next session, something that's going to have to happen to earn you, because repute points are so valuable. One repute point actually upgrades your character one attribute point. So it's huge. You don't want to just give them away.
That's what you're playing for, but you're 100% right by that. If I would have said that.
Yep.
Now,
because it's not, if he can't tell people who you are, there's no prestige in it for you.
I know, but what's brilliant about it is I didn't know. Right. That's what's brilliant about it.
Oh, yeah, right.
It's subtle enough to where that when you're in character and you actually are narrating back and forth.
Your character was humble enough to say, just take the coins. That's what's genius about it.
Yeah, I know, but that pivot point. But see, you have to live with stuff like that.
Yeah.
But everybody knows, or as GM, as the director, that pivot point, that important moment that happens. That you wasn't pre-thinking that. It just happened. You go, oh no, that was a bit the shining moment, something that would have happened, that could have bequeathed that.
Right. Now, it doesn't negate what your character does. It doesn't negate his adventure today, but your adventure so far, you're only a hero in the eyes of the girl. Nobody else. All you've done is run an errand. You smacked around a knight and got smacked around by a knight, and you were in a flood. You saved the girl, and the moment in which you really reached out. Now, granted, you reached out to the old ferryman, but he was getting paid to do his job anyway. And that's the other thing, right? The flood hits literally as they're crossing, and they're swept away. It's like, dude, again, you don't want to write this stuff, but you want to keep it in context of what's happening when the flood hits.
Where the boy go and everything else. I'm on top of the building. Yeah. But that's what's so beautiful and simple and elegant when you rely on narration to feed and inform what is currently going on, and it's so eye-opening and mind-expanding to say, this is happening right now. And even like that, like I said, that moment, that's a perfect example of how you level up different things in this.
Right. Now, at the end there, where you grab her up and you run her out of the city, and we ended the session, do you think you should have gotten do you think you should have earned a repute point for the session or for that moment?
No, because it wasn't in and of itself any kind of thing meaningful. Now,
it's meaningful in your relationship with the girl.
With her.
Right.
Yeah. What I'm saying is it's not on a world-changing level. It's whatever. Now, if she would later on have, I could save her to be, it could be money in the bank that you use later.
That's right.
She could get up to be the princess or something like that.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Over that and give me a title. See, you can get actual in-game gear and whatever to help you facilitate your play. Is it like the plus ones or whatever? To your attributes. Yeah. So that's fine too. That's another way of doing things.
Right.
Like I get the
sword.
Well,
like if you had went ahead and said, okay, I think you are the king. I'm going to help you go get the rightful throne. And that had been an adventure in which you would have probably been in fights. You may have had to fight things. You may have had to kill things. You may have been killed. At the end of that, if you guys somehow had infiltrated this palisade and you had killed the king and you put him on the throne, he might have given you, literally, I might have given you a full prestige point.
Yeah, but Amir didn't respect him.
No, but I'm saying if you had done that and all that had transpired, I would have probably just given you a straight prestige point. This guy would have knighted you as his.
I know, Jason, but I'm playing. Yeah. This allows me to play true to the concept of the character without compromising that.
That's right.
Without being led to.
And not trying to win the game. You're not trying to get prestige points.
You're
not trying to score reputation points. You're trying to be a player. I mean, a character.
Yeah, I'm trying to experience a player.
And one reason we don't want to write hard and fast rules for this is we don't want players going, "Hey, I know how I can score points."
Yeah.
You don't want players knowing how they can. What happens in D&D when everybody knows that treasure and monster killing gets them experience points? What do?
Treasure monster kill.
Yeah, they're murder hobos, and everybody says, that's what you get. Well, that's what you get because players know how to game the game.
Exactly, and this is the whole other experience.
Mm-hmm.
You get to actually do what your character would do without. Because I could have played, like you said, you felt led to give me a point because that moment was like a snapshot in time. You go, oh, that's the moment.
Right.
It did not happen, but every 3 games or something. You go,
well, and it happened because I rolled a 2, a catastrophic event.
Yeah.
You survived the catastrophic event with the girl. This guy's and I mean, we're talking about Dredgewater has been wiped off the face of England.
Yeah.
And this guy's dragging all that's left in the world to him in the mud and muck trying to get to Fledgwater, which is still miles away. I mean, everything about that was, this is a life-changing moment for Dredgewater, for this guy, for you. And if you would have said, my name is Amir, right, he's never going to forget this day because he lost everything. And at the same time, you may have given him enough copper to start over. Remember, they only earn about 15 copper a year, peasants, right?
Oh, I know. It was to give him a new start.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the brilliance of it, man, because I'm not.
But he's going to tell the story. But when people say, who is this man? I don't know. So you aren't benefiting from the actual.
It's a freaking Clint Eastwood movie.
Right? So he'll tell this story, but you won't actually earn reputation or prestige for it.
I know. Well, I mean, that's beautiful because I don't feel cheated.
And it's also funny because later when the blacksmith was teasing you about getting beat up by the knight, and if you had made it clear, no, I beat him up, that could have affected the stories about you, right?
Yeah,
but you would have had to prove to the blacksmith.
Worse for where I was like, screw it.
Yeah, and who really won? I mean, it was a punching contest. So nobody ever wins a punching contest, right? You just get punched up. So so they wouldn't have believed you anyway. They would have said, "Yeah, whatever, man." But it's but that's what's so right. And now the little girl might later tell stories about you, right? These could be the chronicles. These could be the chronicles of Amir, and where later some old woman is narrating stories of Amir.
Stories of Worth. He got stuck on a roof. He went and quested to get the iron ore from.
And he was such a smart man. He smeared mud on my mud splattered face. and they drenched us in urine as he tried to get us into the palisade.
I'm out there like my mom was. Stop it. No, I mean it's brilliant. I love. That's more of a revelation right now on me is the fact of how you would bequeath those points in that moment, because I don't feel like I'm playing to level up my character at all. Period.
It is a genuine, authentic character in a world on an adventure, and there will be moments that are genuine and authentic that could change certain things.
In the game, according to my perspective, my character's perspective, I will want to have goals or achieve this or that according to his desires. Mm-hmm. But whether or not that affects me in however way has to be played out. So
you'll at some point you get reputation points, but like this session might not be enough for a full RP. However, when you did that, I would have given you right on the spot a repute point. Yeah.
But see, to me, at that moment, I wasn't out for heraldry because I felt like the whole place was disaster.
Yep.
We were lucky enough that he picked us up, and then he's sitting there crying in the mud or whatever. So it was for him, not
it was genuine. Me. No, right. It was genuine.
It was for him, not for me.
That's right.
So it was that moment. Right. Don't worry about that. You rebuild your life.
And Jesus Christ with the Good Samaritan, right? It's not about Jesus Christ. It was about these other people.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Exactly. So Amir may end up being like Jay-Z in 3,000 years. They're telling stories about Amir, right? And then he gave an old man sitting in the mud copper coins, copper pennies. And when the old man said, "What is your name, sir?" "Don't worry about it."
But see, that's what I mean. I feel good about the game and actually good about the experience of playing that character.
Right.
And not like at the end of the game, I go like, how many points do I need to level up? I didn't even think of that.
Nope.
I don't give a crap. I could stay at this same ability and have just as many adventures.
Oh, we could play forever. And you make a character, and I've often, matter of fact, my D12 game, you make a character, and only thing that ever goes up is your actual reputation, but it doesn't affect anything.